Hello, everyone. I'm Phalanges.
And I'm Tekkusai.
And I'm Dazz.
Welcome to Mousecast. We do this every Thursday. Please subscribe for weekly episodes. Gentlemen, starting with Dazz, what's on your desk?
Mouse-wise, I'm rocking the Ponage M3. This thing is potentially S tier. My copy is perfect.
Ooh.
Ponage with great QC, different shapes, hot swappable switches between mechanical and optical. It's a banger of a mouse. So I guess some
Nice.
people have had issues with the hot swap sockets, but maybe that's just a loud minority. I don't know. And then I'm rocking a hard to see 4114 Arrow E2 just because I got it in yesterday, so I plopped it on my desk. I was going to pull out the Singularity, but transparently it's under 55 mouse pads, I think, on my desk right now, and I couldn't get there in time. So
I feel that.
what about you?
I've got Mcho's A7X. This thing's just too damn good. I can't stop using it. And Pulsar PD plus 155 because too damn good. I can't stop using it.
Yeah. I've been probably on the same mouse as my number one mouse for the past year, so I can't say like what's on my desk now because it's been the same thing. It's the BeastX non-pro because I prefer the 3395, and I'm using the Polarity because that's actually my favorite surface. But the PD 170 from Vaxi and Pulsar is probably one of the greatest mouse pads I've tried. So that's been on my desk as well recently.
Universal praise. I must get that, but I refuse to pay $90 to get it from Canada. So here I sit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
No.
Well,
Waste your money.
For real though.
why don't we get... I thought I had a poll. I guess not. Okay, well, Tekk, for the people who have been living under a rock, can you introduce yourself?
Of course. My name is Tekkusai. I am the part owner of Glsswrks and Kurosun. Glsswrks is a company that makes premium glass mouse pads and now also accessories for glass mouse pads, starting with skates. And Kurosun focuses on premium cloth mouse pads. So they are kind of separate in their look. So yeah, we decided to make two brands instead of one, even though it would have been easier to just consolidate them. And then I also release stuff on my own under Tekkusai, namely glass mouse pads, soon skates, and other peripherals.
A keyboard, perhaps.
Yeah.
Keyboard, yeah. I should have led with that because that's the next coming product in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
I've heard some pretty great things about it so far.
Oh, have you been scouting Twitter, or is it from people you know?
I've been chatting with a handful of reviewers who have.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yes.
that is good to hear. Reassuring. Yes. Speaking about that, just completely random thing is things you don't expect. Sometimes everything comes out good in the sampling stage when you're making a product, and then you get it into the warehouse and everyone's super confident and they're like, hey, let's ship it to reviewers. We're ready. Everything's ready. Then you ship a few things and then a few reviewers say, hey, I have a problem with this or with that. And if it's converging, right, if there's a common denominator, you kind of have to go back and say, hey, we have to fix a few things. So that's what we're doing now with the keyboard. We found a few small things, and then we have to open all 700 of the first batch of the keyboard, redo some things, and then put it back. So that's why the 3 to 4 week delay, whereas it was supposed to launch around now originally. So you always hit some unexpected things, when making physical products. But I think it's part of the kind of like the flow that you learn over time. I used to stress about that kind of stuff, and now it's just, well, got to fix it, and then we keep going.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so much you can do, right?
Yeah,
I've had a couple other companies run into that same issue recently. Ninjutsu's had some weird issues in their first batch, and some of their mouse pads too. So
Ponage.
Yeah, there's always something. Like you think you've tested 50, 60 samples, and you think that's enough. Surely, I've tested so many, it has to be great. And then mass production is always different. You always find something that you didn't find by testing 10 to 50 pre-production samples.
You would think at 50 or 60, yeah, that does seem like a pretty strong sample size, but
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, mass production, the difference is that they sometimes literally use different machinery than they do during the sampling stage. So until you start mass production, you don't know the problems you're going to have in mass production. And that's something I learned very fast when I started making my own products. I'm like, okay, making samples is not the same as mass production.
Wow.
interesting.
And it still surprises me every time how different they can be.
I've played around with in the back of my mind. Oh, I'm gonna go on Alibaba, try like I don't know. I'll try slapping a logo on something and seeing if it'll sell, maybe. And you can request samples, right? But then if the samples are a different quality from what your customers are receiving, that's bad.
Yeah, that happens all the time, even with some of the best factories that I've worked with. It's not just different from sampling stage to mass production, but then there's also actual variance, right? Because there's tolerance for each product, and it's different from factory to factory and from product to product, where they go, hey, yeah, we allow up to like a 15%, plus minus whatever for this parameter. And then I go, no, what do you mean? That's crazy.
Mhm.
That's like a different product. Then they say, okay, best we can do is 10%. And then I'm like, it has to be 5. And then they're like, well, that's an extra $3 per unit because we'll have to hand check it and QC it. And you have to say either yes or no. And in my case, I say yes because and then sometimes it's still more than 5% even after that. And then you're like, do I get a refund for that? And they're like, nope, man hours are already wasted. We did our best. We'll do better next time.
Yeah, Diamond Lobby released a video the other week about like basically he's barely making any money, if not losing money, being a mouse content creator. It sounds like on the other side the grass isn't any greener.
No, there are problems everywhere, and you just have to kind of reduce that as much as possible, and then hope that it's just good enough where it's not really noticeable and everyone's just having a good experience. And if they're not, you're there to help out, hopefully, if your customer service is not horrible.
Yeah. Okay, well, why don't we actually get into some of our questions here? The first one that we had for you was, is this your full-time gig? And what did you do beforehand, if so?
Yeah, so definitely my full-time gig, I would say, for the past 2.5 years or so. That's all I do. Sometimes it's 15-hour days of just me doing stuff, whether it's software development or talking to factories, staying up till 5 a.m. so that I'm on the same like Taiwan or China or Japan time to talk to suppliers, and talking to my web developer, my 3D like graphic artist, like everyone. It's just me coordinating with everyone all of the time. I do even customer service, like I'm very active in my own Discord server, so this is like a full-time job. I work like sometimes like actually 15 hours a day for like a month straight, and then I'll take a little break and game for a bit and not do more than like 5 hours a day, and then come back to work more because now I've missed out on things that I need catching up on. But yeah, before that I was actually a music producer and audio engineer for almost 15 years, and that was my full-time job. And I was very successful, well, relatively successful as an artist, and my girlfriend sings and writes, and I produced the music, and we were like a music duo. And then I decided to quit to pursue this in the middle of all of that, and it was a gamble, and I just decided to do it because I was passionate about it, and I said, this, music gives me royalties, which means I'm comfortable and I can sit at home and do what I want. So I'm going to use it to do my best work for as long as I can in this new space that I was passionate about.
Is the music something
like 1,000 questions during that little?
I know. My first one is, can you link us to the music? Do you have a SoundCloud?
There's everything. SoundCloud.
Is it all Tekkusai?
No. I actually don't link it publicly because I don't want, because it has like, people can find it and it has all my info. Like, there's my name out there and her name and all that stuff. So I try to keep those separate unless it's like my friends. I'll send you guys that stuff privately.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's like electronic music, kind of like some of it is like more singer songwriter stuff, and other stuff is more pop or electronic bass music. So it's like a mix of stuff. We've been working since 2015 together, and then before that I was still involved in other projects for about 6 years.
That's awesome. So was Lucid sort of like a passion project then, coming from that field?
Kind of, yeah, except for the fact that I've never used IEMs before.
Okay.
Yeah, nor have I had any experience in making them. So that was my first entry into like making physical like hardware for audio, anything audio related. But I myself still to this day don't use IEMs, but I use these extensively throughout, you know, the time that we were testing and making them for like 8 or 9 months, and I loved them. And I said, man, if these were wireless, I would actually use them like every day. I'm too attached to my wireless headset because I walk around when I talk, and you know, I take business calls, I game everything with the wireless headset. I go grab my food while still talking and whatever. So that freedom is important to me, and that's why I'm always chasing like the best wireless headset. And that's why that is also my next focus for some time by the end of this year, hopefully, is a wireless gaming headset of my own.
I'm going to pick your brain on the best one then. I just got one testing it, and I haven't had the freedom in so long.
They are all mid.
That's the problem.
Yeah. There's better mid, and then there's worse mid, but they're all right around that. You know, I'd rate them all between 4 out of 10 to 6 out of 10. That's the range.
I think I had a phase
even
in
the most
2019.
praised, the Odyssey Maxwell, in my opinion, is like a perfect 5 out of 10 mid, and I don't know why everyone praises it.
That's not cheap either, is it? No.
I mean, people really like it, I think, because the planar magnetic drivers, and it sounds pretty wide and balanced, and has low distortion, and it is good on many levels. I just really don't like the sound profile. I don't like how heavy they are. The comfort for me is not good. I tried playing with EQs, made my own, and I couldn't get to a point where I was like, wow, this sounds incredible. I could only get to, okay, now it sounds not bad, but it's not worth how heavy it is. And the mic is terrible as well. So I think it's highly praised, but I don't love it. I really do want to make my own, because I think for my taste, I could do better than that. These InZone H92s are actually pretty good. They're very lightweight, very comfortable. The mic is decent. You can hear it now. The sound profile is okay. With EQ, it becomes pretty good. They're probably the most lightweight headset that I've worn ever, maybe. And decent battery life, decent range. I haven't had any problems with performance or any noticeable kind of like delay. These are great. But I definitely want to get more into audio this year and next year, into audio products. I think a big part of my passion is there. So I want to improve and release a new version of the Lucid IEMs, release wireless gaming headset. At some point, I would also like to go back to the wireless earbuds that I teased last year that never got released, because that was a crazy time sink and money sink, and they ended up, the prototype was pretty bad. So I kind of put it on the back burner for now, but I want to get back into that as well.
Man, if you develop a wireless headset, I will 100% buy it. I use this for live streaming and Mousecasts, so and I would trust. I mean, this Reddit comment already likes the Lucids, so. But
yeah, you'll see a lot of kind of disagreements about I think any IEM, right? Even the Lucid. Some people will be like, oh, it's too bass heavy, too many low mids, or doesn't sound natural in the sound stage, whatever. But I think generally people seem to like it, and they the comments that I receive about it is that are that people like it, but with the Lucid app that I developed for it, people seem to love it, and they see that as kind of like the big selling point, because that's the thing that I put a lot of work into, and that's essentially what it does is it automatically detects which competitive game you have running, and it applies a specific profile to that game, for specifically made for the Lucid IEMs and with them in mind. So you don't have to do anything. You just keep it running in the background. You go play your game. Whenever you alt tab, it knows that you alt tabbed. So it takes you back to your original profile. And then when you tab back into the game, you get that specific game profile again. And I worked on a lot of these profiles with a lot of pros, with even fresh reviews, helped me with a lot of the sound profiles. Gadgetry Tekk, which is an amazing guy. Joe, he's helped me with a few of the profiles for some games. Great inspiration from him. Yeah, he has like a really incredible channel for everything related to audio and gaming audio. So yeah, he was involved a little bit, and a lot of the EQs were inspired by his work, because he did some crazy work, especially for like Call of Duty and other games, where he mapped like every individual sound to an EQ. So you get like single sound hits for every kind of like for every sound that exists in Call of Duty. And then you can kind of figure out which ones are important and boost those or reduce other ones that are not important. So he was a lot of help. His work was a lot of help in the stuff that I was developing for the Lucid app. But yeah, basically the big draw for them is this thing right here. And I'd kind of like to expand on that going forward, where this becomes a more integral part, not just a companion app, but something that's more built in into them, so that even, you know, without the app, that it can save a lot of these settings, and you can take them on the go and stuff. So that's where I'm looking towards in the future.
It was fun watching you tweet about it constantly as you were developing it. Like, it seemed almost daily.
Yeah. Oh yeah. At one point I was working on it like every single day for like 2 months, I think. And more recently, an experienced developer helped me kind of like refactor the whole thing, like the code.
What's it written in? I'm developing veteran. So.
Oh, now the backend is in Rust.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not surprising. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, hey, I think instead of like, you know, your app doesn't use that much memory and resources in the background, like 100 megabytes, but I think it can be like 3 to 7 megabytes if the backend was written in Rust. And so we did that, and then he was right. Yeah. So awesome. It uses like no resources in the background. Oh yeah, this is what it started as. It was just a script, right? And then I was like, wait, this could be so much more. So that was kind of like the progression of the Lucid app throughout the last year and a bit.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. I played around with it as well.
Technically works on any device, right? But all the profiles are tuned specifically for the Lucid IEM. But that's about to change, because I am working now on a version that works with the most common headsets and headphones.
So you swap your profile for each of them?
Well, you just kind of select which headphone or headset you're using at the start, and then it will tune everything around that instead of around the Lucid IEM. And then you can use it just as if you had the Lucid IEM, and benefit from the same things. So that update will be released for free at some point in the next month or so.
Nice.
So
okay.
yeah,
awesome.
Any non-Lucid IEM users that have any of the compatible headphones or headsets will be able to use it very soon.
Okay. We skipped way ahead. We were gonna ask you like plans for the future, and more audio stuff I think would be cool, especially given your background. But
yeah.
I think
for sure that's a big thing for me this year and next year, I think.
Okay. Yeah. I think we'll even circle back to this question, but I also think people primarily know you from your mouse pads, right? So
yeah.
I guess what was the start for you that got you into mice and peripherals?
The start for me was probably right before COVID. I was playing on a bunch of cheap mouse pads in like 2017, 2018. I kept rotating like Amazon mouse pads. And then around that time, I I was reading more and more about artisan mouse pads, but I never thought, hey, I should buy this, $60, $70 mouse pad, like with shipping or whatever. Then import duties in Canada are crazy. So it's like, I'm not going to buy a $120 mouse pad because it's a mouse pad. I'm like, it's just fabric. What can it do for me? I can buy fabric from Amazon for $10. It's good enough. Maybe I'll buy a good one for 15. I'll spoil myself this time. So I never thought it would make any difference. And then I bought my artisan Heian, and obviously everything immediately changed when I realized that I was completely wrong, right? That I had no idea what that even meant to have a good mouse pad until that day. And then I started thinking, okay, what else am I missing out on? Is there like something with the mouse? And then later on it was the skates, and I realized it's the whole thing. It's a whole pipeline. The whole thing is important. And then I was like not really happy with any mousepad that was out there because I wanted something that didn't exist. And after searching for a long time, I just decided I should try and make my own. And I thought I was crazy because I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, surely these, engineers and these people understand textiles, and people who have been doing it for decades know what they're doing, and I'm going to hit some kind of wall where I'm just going to get stuck and not be able to create something that I truly love. Because that was kind of like a prerequisite for me. I need to be able to use it for a while and say I truly love this, and it's something that's not out there yet. But I was wrong, and that first product was the Kurosun Ninja cloth mousepad, which was a very smooth and rather quick, but not ultra fast mousepad. And I loved it so much that we decided to release it as our very first release. And I realized that I both overestimated and underestimated all of this in terms of like I underestimated how hard it would be to actually make a mouse, to start with a mouse pad. I thought starting with a mouse pad would be the simplest out of all the peripherals. It's not. The mouse pad is the most complicated out of any peripheral, like by far. And then what I overestimated is how much care other brands usually put into their mouse pads. Most brands don't care that much about their pads. It's like an afterthought.
Yeah.
They'll put work and a lot of the R&D into the mice, into even the keyboards, the headsets, the things that people buy. Because mouse pads is like seen as as an accessory or a cheap commodity to a lot of people still to this day. So I didn't see a lot of competition in the kind of like premium mousepad space, because at the time there wasn't even like the premium like pro lineup from Lethal or anything. And Patsmith has just been like kind of like starting out with some premium offerings at the time around like 2021, I think. So there wasn't really anything premium, and I thought that was a wasted opportunity, because I always believed in premium products, and it made me realize how much that was missing in mousepads. And I also at the same time wanted to make something that looked and felt unique, and not another like as we call them, black squares, right? So that was part of the design. Like we asked ourselves what would look unique while not alienating everyone, with the Kurosun lineup. It needs to work on every setup, but it needs to look unique.
That's a question many companies should ask themselves.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, the more simple a product looks, the more universal it becomes, right? So completely black mouse or completely black mouse pad or a completely white one, those are the simplest, and they work for basically anyone. But that's also a little bit boring, right? So we were like, what's the next best thing we could do that still would not alienate too many people and would fit most setups, but had some character to it, that you could tell, hey, that's a Kurosun mousepad. And luckily for us, I already had an idea that I liked. I had this like little silhouette of a samurai on the bottom right corner. I had that idea for a mousepad for a while, and we tried that. And originally we tried that with gold stitching, because at the time we were like, gold means expensive. No, it looks very tacky. And it was my girlfriend who said, hey, why don't you try white? So it's like the white little character, the white stitching. It could could give that nice contrast. So it could tie it together. And we did that, and we immediately fell in love with that combo, with that look. So yeah, that was kind of like the origin story of the Ninja and the Kurosun brand. Then we got our artist to do all the characters. He made all 3 ahead of time, even though they were not released at the same time. We already had all the 3 characters. And he made the logo and the font, and all of that stuff was hand drawn by him. And there was a team at the time, which at this point, out of the 5 people that were there, only 3 of the 5 remain, and now we have 2 new people. So it's a team of 5 for Kurosun and Glsswrks. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Okay.
impressive.
So what made you then start up Glsswrks and do it separately instead of under the Kurosun brand?
So in I would say in mid 2023, a little bit earlier than that, we started looking into glass mouse pads. We started with typical glass factories in China, and we're like, okay, let's sample some things and see how it feels. And we had like a design in mind. That design was kind of like a design that I ended up using later on under the Beast mousepad that I released.
When you say design, aesthetics or surface?
Yeah, aesthetics,
Okay.
yeah. There's a design that I used for the Beast, which was my own mousepad release, which was kind of like a callback, like a little homage to that. But this was the original design of the Glsswrks first mousepad that we were going to release. It was that, but more blue. There was more blue everywhere. So
I've been trying to buy this pad for a while, but I can't find one.
yeah, it's pretty hard to find now.
Yeah.
So that was going to be the design language for all Glsswrks pads. But then we kind of like started playing around with a new type of design, like a more what I would call kind of like a poster look. It almost kind of looks like a movie poster, or like a mugshot, or like later on we just started calling it, it's a portrait. So we're gonna lean into this whole portrait, but everything has to look really interesting and intricate in terms of the characters. They need to have each their own color, their own background story, their own symbol, and then that developed into a whole universe that we created for Glsswrks, where each character has a story and the world has a bigger story than just the characters alone, and they all tie together into it. There's a limited amount of characters, which, we'll get into that later, but it was essentially too different from Kurosun to release them together, because you can see what the characters look like. That has nothing to do with the branding of Kurosun. I think it would have been a mistake to release it under the same brand and to put it under the same guardrails. These ideas here for Glsswrks were more wild. And the first idea for the Akari was us kind of playing around with like AI art to see like what it would look like, and then telling our artist, hey, what do you think of this type of art? He's like, this is really cool, let me try something. And he would kind of like trace over it, and then he would iterate and until we got to a point that we loved it. And then that was how we did Akari. And at the time, people were asking us, hey, is this AI? And we're like, yeah, it's half AI, like half human. Like it's both, right? Before we ever released it, we were talking about it on the Glsswrks Twitter. And people were like, oh, okay, cool, thanks for letting us know. And then later on, we were like, hey, starting with the next mousepad, with the Kazumi, let's not trace it. Let's use inspirations, including AI inspirations, but then draw everything completely from scratch. And that's how the Kazumi started. And from that point on, that's how we worked. So AI is like the general idea, the general vibe. And then our artist draws everything, gets paid in full. And not many people know this, but the same artist that worked on the Kurosun art back in 2022 is the one that does all of this Glsswrks art.
That's
including
cool.
the Glsswrks logo and font and drawing the characters. The only exception was the Kazumi, where we also had a second artist, and she drew kind of like the original outline, and then from the AI inspiration, but she drew the original outline herself, and then we pass it on to our artists who finished it to make it look more like a Glsswrks character. So we wanted Glsswrks to be like a true combination of like AI and human effort, where humans are involved, everyone gets paid, artists are always involved in everything that happens at Glsswrks. But we were really not afraid to use AI to make something that feels cool, like that feels different. And I think with Glsswrks characters, you can always tell that they're Glsswrks characters. It has a consistent style from one release to the next, and that was something that was pretty important for us because they're supposed to be part of the same universe, right? And then also for these animations, they've been getting better and better over time. We've been working with increasingly, I guess, higher budgets and more experience. And the one we're doing next, animation for our next upcoming character is kind of like the shortest but most ambitious one in terms of the animation quality with the team that we're working with. Really, really good like animation studio that has experience working on a lot of really big anime, like JJK and Attack on Titan. A lot of the animators that worked on that stuff, they're working on our next animation for our next character. So it's been really cool to kind of like work with such talented people going forward. I love working with artists, and as much as I love using AI for like inspiration or coding or ideas and stuff like that, I'll never replace my actual artists with AI work. I always want humans involved in that stuff, and I want artists to be paid. And as an artist myself making music, I would never go full AI and not pay an artist. So I think that's kind of like the only ground rule I've set for myself with AI, is that it doesn't replace, it supplements or inspires.
Yeah, I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah, especially given
that
your background.
That could be persistent throughout society, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
I mean, yeah, it has a lot of use cases, right? People are saying like, hey, why shouldn't coders get paid if it's like trained on our work and stuff that we did? And then, same with musicians. Like, I'm sure my music was scraped, right, for AI like music, because it was pretty well known, right? And I hear a lot of generations that are similar to my music. When I type in really specific styles of music, I'm like, I can hear my style in this. I'm like, I'm not crazy, right? And my girlfriend says, no, I can hear it too. It's like our instrumental, but with a different voice.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is. We're all a part of it in terms of like the AI. I'm sure all kinds of data was scraped, and nobody really has any control over that.
Yeah, if you wrote open source code that had some kind of visibility to it, you're probably a part of the equation, which is fine. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I guess while we're on the subject, we do have a question from a person in our Discord who asked, are there plans to continue to do minimalist designs with mostly flat colors and or get a 100% human-made art on designs? Some people simply don't want to support AI art, even if it had some degree of human input, is from what I can recall seeing online.
So there's some lack of clarity on people's understanding of the process there, it seems like.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I think some people maybe don't want like any AI use in the art form, because I understand why. It can take away some of the either the magic or the human element to it, where they think, hey, the whole pipeline should be done, the whole process should be done by a human from beginning to end, because that's the beauty of art, right? But yeah, the process is a little different than it sounds. Like I said, with Akari, it was more true, like hybrid of AI and human. But after that, it was only used as reference. Everything else is actually drawn by a human from scratch. So it depends how you see it, right? I guess. But yeah, in terms of like more simple designs, we do have the Glsswrks Polarity and the Kurosun designs, which are both completely human-made. No AI involved in Glsswrks Polarity or in any of the Kurosun designs. So if cloth pad is your thing and you don't like AI, Kurosun's completely human. Human ingenuity, you could say. Our artist is incredible. And for Glsswrks Polarity, that was actually our 3D artist who made the design of the box and of the mouse pad design. And it's kind of like a 3D, it's like it's like a matrix. It's made up of little tiny dots, the whole design. So instead of doing a gradient, we just kind of change the concentration of how many dots are like per inch almost to create the kind of the illusion of it being more than just two colors, but it is actually just two colors.
Oh yeah. Okay. You can kind of
didn't know
see
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
cool.
in these renders, you can see more that it's just two colors. But if you look at actual, because these are renders, right? Our 3D guy did the renders himself as well. So
That's crazy, dude.
yeah. So he does the renders. He also did the design for the polarity. He's incredibly talented. He made
Yeah.
the concept website for Kurosun as well. So he's incredibly talented.
Yeah, I see. It's like it's the Glsswrks G kind of
Yes.
on a side 3D view. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So on the back, the base, we have the custom molded silicone base, which you can't see in these photos. We should add one of those. But it's also like a G. It's a different looking G, but it's also a full size G on the backing as well. So we and the box has kind of like a similar design, but with a little bit of a different look. So we tried to like really coordinate everything for this release in terms of like, the white polarity gets all white accessories inside, but also we went further, not just the white box and white accessories. We even went as far as adding like a white foam insert. So everything is white when you open it, right? And with the black one, everything is black. We really, it took a lot longer than we thought to get them in those exact colors, but I think that was worth it just for I love that attention to detail. I think it matters a lot. So
That's fascinating. I like always notice those things, but then in my videos, I'm like, people only care about like the product, but maybe I should cover those more.
they do,
Like,
but I think subconsciously people might kind of notice
it matters.
that you care a little bit more if you care about the small details. Clearly, it means you care about every detail from beginning to end, right? It's kind of like when Apple when like Apple designs the internals in a way that's like beautiful and arranged before anyone ever did it, and then people are like, why? Nobody's gonna open this thing. It's like, well, because they care, right? So similar thing with rooting and the PCB, right? And the little thing they put, or like end game gear with the, again, same thing. In that case, people do mod more, so there is a reason to see it. But I think even when people can't notice something, it's important that it's done in kind of like a beautiful way that's engineered well and has almost like a story to it, so that it makes sense as a whole, not just like the separate parts.
And sometimes the first impression's everything. So if you can like make that as premium and well thought out as possible, it might have a lasting impact on your impression.
Yeah, I agree. That's why like the unboxing is like the first impression, right? You might not remember it for a long time, but you're gonna associate it. Yeah, exactly. It does have an effect. Sometimes when you buy a product that you're really excited for, and it comes in this like beautiful, elaborate packaging, and you just there's like an experience when you open it, you're like, wow, these people really care about what they're doing. And I always found that fascinating and wanted to do it in my products as well.
Yeah, I'll be honest, like when I unbox a Razer mouse, I'm like, I respect your economical like packaging, but it does feel cheap. But I also get it at the same time. I'm like very torn. So yeah.
Yeah, it's less wasteful, you could say, for sure. It takes up less space as well, which is good because you could put more of it in a truck or plane or boat.
True.
Which is cheaper to ship and waste less fuel and resources, so that's good. But we always tried to find a middle ground where it's not too wasteful but still feels really good.
Next question here. What does it take to have a successful business idea? Because I'm sure there's probably ideas you've had where you're like, I would love to make this, but I don't think it would work.
Yeah. A lot. Yeah, I would say a lot. But if you want a short answer, we can go into like a shorter answer, because this is probably one of the most difficult questions, I think, on this list.
We do have a lot to get through, so it's whatever pacing you want, dude.
Okay, so to have a successful business idea, I think I kind of talked about it pretty recently in an article that I wrote on my Twitter, which I don't want to call it X. I still just call it Twitter.
Same.
So,
straight.
yeah. So I wrote an article about this where I talked about how the idea at first feels kind of like the major thing, where you have an idea, you get a sample, and you're like, wow, this is it. From here on out, it's going to be much easier because now that was the main thing. Is the idea, is the product. I have a sample in my hands. But then you realize that that's incorrect. That is about only 2% of the work that's ahead of you,
Mhm.
just for that release, and everything else is not fun. That 2% of testing the product, making the product, that, like, you know, talking about it, that's fun, but that's 2% of your work if you're doing the work right. And then everything else is just an insane amount of work that, you know, people don't normally think about unless they've run their own, you know, business with, you know, a physical product that ships. Then you don't, it's stuff that you don't even think about, that you can only get to it via lived experience, where it's endless, an endless amount of work and money that you need to give at every step. Literally at every step, somebody needs to get paid. You want your factory to send something to your warehouse, obviously you pay for the shipping, but then the warehouse is like, hey, we're going to charge you for storage, we're going to charge you every time we ship and fulfill something, we're going to charge you for the mailing boxes. And then they're like, do you want to include import duties, or is that on the customer? And then you have to decide that. And if it's on the customer, you have to let them know, and then they get angry at you. Then you have returns, you have customers refusing products, you have shipping damage, you have defects, you have, like, everyone gets paid. Again, that's the number thing I'll repeat, is that obviously you pay the factory, but then you have to pay a guy who makes your, you know, 3D renders and videos and your website. And, you know, are you going to do the back end stuff, like for your Shopify and all of that, or is somebody else going to do it? And who's going to do the customer service? Who's going to do the Twitter posts? Who's going to create all the assets for all the posts everywhere? How consistent is that going to be? Who's going to take care of the Discord servers and moderate it? And there like you know, legal fees, and you have to pay your taxes as a business, you have to register your business, right? So all of these things, and then you're just starting to scratch the surface of how many fees there are. PayPal wants a fee, Shopify takes a fee. You know, your partner says, hey, I'm not getting paid enough, and this guy is like, oh, I need a salary now, otherwise I'm not going to be able to keep up, you know, with this pace of work that I'm doing for all the art. And so it's just an endless stream of you pay, and all the money that your brand makes, if you truly care about it and want it to grow, you put it right back into the business, so you're making nothing as the owner.
Yeah.
And I think people see like a price, like just a product price, right? In terms of like production, they see, oh, this product costs $35 to produce. And they think, then why is the brand selling it for $130? That's theft. Well, if you consider all of these things that I just talked about, the cost lands at somewhere near like $80 or $90, not 35. And then you have to make money, because with that money, you can reinvest it into more productions of all kinds of products, research and development, which is a huge sunken cost as well that people don't think about. Paying all the people in the company and stuff, and still not paying yourself, right? Or barely paying yourself. So all that money just disappears. And I can tell you, for example, that we just calculated how much money went in and out of our account, which, by the way, that account handles Kurosun, Glsswrks, and my own Tekkusai brand, right? So from January of 2025 until March, the start of March of 2026, we almost dollar for dollar, the same money that came in went out. Within like $10,000 difference. So that means we have about $10,000 left in the account at this very moment, because the rest of the money is tied up in productions. So we're pretty much broke in that sense. We don't have really money to pay anyone anymore, and we're like, hey, we might need a loan, or we might need to, you know, not put any more money into any other productions at the moment. You know, so it's deceiving to think, hey, let's say I've made $2 million in the last year and a half, but I've spent 1.95 million. So you're not really making money. You're just trying to grow and produce better products, and that's the phase we're in, right? I'm trying to produce better and better products. I don't care about making money.
So you're
I'm
not
making any
worried
money.
right now. You see this as all a growth and a reinvestment period.
Yes, and I don't care if this period lasts another 5 years. Like I said, I just care about making the best products that I can, improving every time, staying focused and passionate about what I do, knowing what my next step is, and creating more stories and worlds that I care about, that I hope other people will care about too.
So like Singularity, for example, was so affordable. Like, did you take a loss on that, or?
Nope, no loss.
Okay.
So that was an interesting story that I can finally share, I think.
Okay.
So essentially, the Singularity was there was like this huge amount of raw glass material at our factory that was unused. Like thousands of glass pads could be made from it, and a previously large brand that I will not name, ordered it and decided they didn't want it anymore, actually. So the factory was like, "We'll sell it at a huge discount if you'll take it." And I'm like, "I don't know what to do with this cheap glass. Why would I want cheap glass? I make premium products, right?" And they're like, "Well, just try it. Maybe you'll like it." And I did. And I was like, "Wow, this glass is really, really good." I'm like, "Can we make a good surface out of it? Because this surface is not very good. I want something with a little more texture, a little more balance. Can we rework it?" And they did. And I was incredibly impressed by how good it was. And I think I talked about it online, where I was, or at least in my Discord server, where I was telling customers the actual cost of this product was about $16 or $17 for production, which is much lower than something like Polarity, which is closer to 50, right? So it's so much cheaper that I was astounded that something of that quality was possible. And that was, of course, all thanks to that special deal with the raw glass. So I immediately said, "Hey, this could be great for people who can't spend a lot of money on glass mouse pads, people in developing countries. I could make something great out of it. I don't have to make a lot of money, just introduce people to glass." I think that's really important, to let people be introduced to glass. I made we made as a company, I guess, because it's part of the 3 companies, right? Like my brand. So it was something like $15,000 revenue from selling like many thousands of these. So it's not a lot considering you're talking about many thousands of these glass pads. And all of that was reinvested right back into the production of Polarity. So I didn't see any of that money personally. And then it actually is inspiring the next generation of the Glsswrks budget lineup, which we're working on. Which is also going to be a fairly low-cost glass mousepad to go alongside the Polarity. So that inspired that idea, because I think now more than ever, it's really important to have cheaper options. Not everybody can spend $120, $130, $140 on a mousepad. That's to people who are not in this space, that is just an absurd idea that a mousepad can even reach that level of cost. So, a $59 mousepad might be still really expensive for them, but they might consider that, right? Because they're like, "Hey, I wanted to try glass 59, I might do it. 120, no thank you." So we want to be able to give people an option where they're like, "Hey, I'll get a glass mousepad that's half the price, but it's not half the quality," right? Because there's kind of like this idea where a product that's like double the price will be double the quality. Well, not quite. Usually double the price means like 15% better quality, right? So to some people that's worth it, to others not.
Diminishing returns.
Yeah, very much diminishing returns. So I'm hoping that this next evolution of the Singularity, which is actually a Glsswrks product in the future that will come out, we'll be able to do that. We'll be able to allow people to buy glass without, breaking the bank.
Yeah, that's really cool to see. This little experiment tells you some market data, right? Expands your, addressable market.
Yeah. So this wasn't so much about making money. This was about kind of like experimenting, like seeing, hey, do people really want this? Is it going to do well? And also just get people into glass, because glass pads are amazing and most people don't know that they are at this point. So I was like, Yeah.
And Singularity was my first. So
Really?
it was. Yeah, I
Yeah.
picked up the Founders right away. There was so much hype for this pad, and I could main it and be happy, to be honest with you. But I think this like price range in the market is a huge addressable gap,
is.
and if a company who's known for making premium products jumps into it like yourself, you might be able to crush it. So
Yeah,
XPX
and
was a
I-
glass pad? What?
I want it to be, you know, available on Amazon. I want it to be more accessible. And by the way,
That's huge.
these glass pads, okay, yeah, this one is tiny, so it makes sense why it's a little bit cheaper.
XPX
But
is the branded keyboard I randomly got some Gateron Jade Maxes for $25 anyway.
Yeah, there's clearly a market for it, but like, I mean, for $40, $50, you know, you're much rather gonna go to a mouse pad brand like a Tekkusai Kurosun Glsswrks rather than a.
What does Flash Beyond
Whatever this
cost? That's
is.
like a budget pad I've reviewed.
They've
It was
gone up,
like-
dude. Flash Beyond, they're now like $60 for the larger
also-
size.
They're also pretty darn thick, and it's like $60 or $70. Yeah, like I'd rather use Singularity all day long.
This is small still. Yeah.
oh, so the small is 50, right? And then the
Yeah.
large is 60 something.
The Dragon one's like a small cutting board.
Yeah.
Cool art. But
They
it's-
had a.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
here we
it's much
go.
easier to sell.
60. Yeah.
It's much easier to sell a mouse pad at the smaller sizes. Like if you make, you know, what was it, 400 by 300 or whatever they're selling, then you can
Yeah.
sell that for like $39 or whatever, $35.
Is it shipping?
That's it's the
That-
shipping. Yeah, it's the
Okay.
shipping
Okay.
that kills you. So with glass pads especially, they obviously they have to be shipped flat, but also glass is heavy, and the larger the glass, the heavier the pad is. So you end up paying a lot more, and then you need a larger box, and those boxes have to be pretty heavy duty to protect the glass. So that
Yeah.
it ends up way heavier, takes up way more space. You have to pay a lot more for shipping. And that's where the difference comes from. So sometimes people are like, "Hey, I can get this random glass pad for like $30. Why is the Singularity still like 40 or 45?" I'm like, "Well, the Singularity is 490 by 420. Can you find me another 490 by 420 glass pad of this quality for like $39?" I'm like, "If you can, please link me to that. I'd love to see it, because I've tried a bunch of those, and they're, in my opinion, not at the level of the Singularity."
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always trying to strike the balance between kind of like high quality and a fair price for that quality. So it's not always about making the cheapest product either.
Next question we have here, and Dazz, feel free to jump in if there's one that you would rather prioritize. Do you
This was
freak?
fascinating.
Yeah. Okay. Do you frequently talk with certain creators or brands?
Yeah. So Melon, the reviewer, great reviewer, is one of them. He kind of lives nearby, so we hung out a few times, and he's a really cool dude. And
How
I
tall
didn't
is
realize
he?
how tall he was. Exactly. I think he's like 6'2" or something, or 6'3". He's pretty tall.
I just love all of his videos start out with him reaching down to the mouse, and it's always
This giant like
Super
Sasquatch
Strike
hands.
is not. It's not a small mouse.
No, it's not a small mouse, but he makes it look like a mini.
That's incredible.
I mean, I think even the mini doesn't look that small in my hands. But yeah,
That's crazy.
so yeah, he's really cool, and we've hung out a few times. I think in terms of like people that I've hung out with online or became close with, I would say Tunes from now he's
Formerly
with
of.
Lamzu, formerly Pat Smith.
Mhm.
Hung out a lot with Tunes, so he's a really cool guy. I hang out a lot with, or talk a lot with Dylan from Lethal / Pulsar.
Okay.
He was actually, I would say Lethal was actually kind of like my mentor in this. When I was starting out in 2022, he was the main person.
Is it?
Yeah, you can just search for Lethal Gaming Gear. That's yeah.
I've had
that's-
nothing but good interactions with them. They seem like a great company.
Yeah. So now Lethal is part of Pulsar, right? So there's
Mhm.
there's a whole thing there. But he's probably one of the most incredible people I've had the pleasure of meeting and talking to, and he's helped me so much throughout like just the starting years where I didn't know what I was doing, and he had so much experience and he was so willing to help. And I think he was like helping everyone. Everybody just had like amazing things to say about him. Like he's always helpful, he's always kind. So definitely Lethal. Tunes is also amazing and helps me out with a lot of things. So those two people are like the closest people, I would say, to the real friends that I've made in this community, and they are real friends. And other than that, I have a lot of people that I work with that are less known, like my mods. I'm very close with my Discord mods. They're almost like part of the company, I would say. And there's a lot of community members that I always talk to, whether they're reviewers or just really passionate players. I talk to all reviewers all the time. I'm always in close contact with them, and we chat about different things and opinions, and I'm in all kinds of servers and with the community, not just my own. So I'm trying to be active wherever I can. But in terms of brands, yeah, I would say Pat Smith, PMM, Lethal, Pulsar. Those are kind of like friends, I would say. And now also FineMax, because those are the guys I'm working with to make a mouse with, and they're the ones who made the Akitsu mouse. So Peter from FineMax is amazing. That's all I can say about him. He's quite amazing. His knowledge about mouse engineering and just understanding mice in general is exceptional, and I've been learning a lot from him over the past few months.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of great people in this space for sure. A lot of brands are really passionate. They work hard and they want to collaborate, and yeah, that I love that too. I'm hoping to collaborate more as well. And Steven from REA actually is also a really amazing guy. I got to talk to him a few times in the past before the release, like years before the release and after as well. So yeah, I think he has a bright future with his company if and when he keeps going.
It's great to hear you're so involved with so many different people and companies throughout the community.
Yeah. Honestly,
I love talking to people in the community for sure.
I think that's one thing that sets you apart. Honestly, like not to just glaze you, but you are you have much more of, I think, a social media presence, and also you present yourself as more like a person, not just a black box brand that doesn't really engage except for the weekly giveaway post, which is a little sterile,
Yeah. I mean, I always thought that it was strange that we don't know anything, about the people that make the products that we love, right? And
yeah.
I realized after I was making products, I'm like, wait, there are people who love these products and they always want to know more. And they add me and ask questions, and I always love chatting with them. So I was like, well, why don't I just start talking about it more on my Twitter, on my Discord server, wherever I was kind of involved. And so I started doing that, and people started following and chatting, and it just happened naturally from there. So I don't know how much more it can realistically grow from here, but in terms of the social media, I think obviously it always does grow a little bit, but I honestly don't care, because the community that I have now is amazing, and they've been supportive of everything that I do, and I think that's more than enough and more than I could ask for.
Based. How about we do some questions that we got from our viewers? Schwamper had a few. How much time do you spend on cloth versus glass? So I think this is a personal.
Yeah. If I'm honest right now, all of my time is spent on glass. And it's been the truth roughly for the past 7 months, maybe 8 months, since the polarity was kind of finalized in my hands, and I was like, I don't see a need to swap to anything else. And I was kind of sad, because I was like, I want to be excited about making cloth mouse pads, but how do I do that when I've already made the perfect mouse pad and it's not cloth? So it is definitely the polarity. I really do use it. That's the only mouse pad that I use day in and day out. But that might change soon, because I've found a way to make cloth exciting again, for me at least. And that's something that I've been working on and off for like a year and a half, right? Some cloth projects that excite me beyond just like, hey, this is another mouse pad. So right now, yeah, 100% glass. Soon, I'm not so sure that will stay that way. I think I'll be able to make a comeback with cloth for cloth pads. I think I have some special things planned for that.
Exciting.
I like the sound of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking about new things, we're getting a lot of messages in chat about if you can talk about Hitscan, and I also want to know more about your mouse with FineMax.
Yeah, so Hitscan and I have been getting pretty close over the past year and a half. That's another company that I didn't even mention that I actually work pretty closely with, and the owner is an incredibly intelligent and compassionate person that just loves to help. And I'm embarrassed that I didn't mention Hitscan actually, because there's so many great people that I literally just forgot. So Hitscan and I started talking about a year and a half ago, a little less, about the idea of, hey, what could we do to make a better mouse, right? And that evolved far beyond that. We're already past that. But from that point on, we realized it's a lot of things, right? It's not just the shape or the sensor or the coding. It has to be more than that. We couldn't. I can't get into exact details, but there's some stuff we started talking about, and then we started thinking about skates as one of the most important and most underlooked factors. And we have learned so much since then. Every time you think you figure it out, and a few months later, you're like, wait, that was not exactly right. There's more to it than that. So we've grown our understanding of skates, and we've been working on our own mouse skates, me and Hitscan. And that project is on pause because it was way too difficult to make these skates that we wanted to make. But it led me to start developing my own mouse skates, which are actually not too far from being ready now. And these are not the Glsswrks skates that have been released. These are totally different, and they might take a few more months, but they do exist already in production. So there's at least that. But yeah, Hitscan and I started out with those skates, and then we decided to do a mouse collaboration. So with the next release of Unnamed Mouse from Hitscan, following that will be a version of our collab version of that.
That's really exciting. Okay.
Yeah, so I reached out to a bunch of brands to see who wants to collaborate, and I was surprised that most of them were down. They had really cool ideas, and I kind of like didn't go through with them because Hitscan and I were so close, and I really wanted to do that mouse because there's just a work ethic there. It's insane. And I then realized, hey, I want to make my own shape. So that's where FineMax came in, and they said, hey, we can help you make, your own shape that you love. And we'll help you with everything else. So again, shout out to Peter. He's actually the GOAT for making this happen, and we're working on it really hard and have been for like 4 or 5 months already. So 2 different mice, one coming much sooner with Hitscan, one coming later in the year, which is actually my own shape and my own mouse made with FineMax.
Wow, that's a huge milestone too. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really excited for both. But you know what's crazy? I don't know why I'm just as excited for the skates, because I think that's like that part of peripherals is like begging to be reworked as mouse skates. I feel like every mouse skate that I try is not good. It's either good at first and then gets bad later, or it's kind of okay and then gets better and then again wears down quickly. So it has these weird phases, and it's no fault of any manufacturer of skates. They're all doing the best that they can with the materials that they're using. They've actually done incredible things with these materials that take them way further than they should in terms of like how they do either sound dampening or how they shape them, or how, like, with PTFE you can harden them in a certain way, or thinking of UPE as a material that was really cool. But I think they just chose the wrong materials. So that's the hint I'll give you for my own mouse skates that are coming hopefully by summertime. Is that the material is the bottleneck. But I didn't just want to stop at the material. I also made my own shape for the skates, and actually Tunes helped me with that because he does 3D work, and he did a complete 3D model of the skates, and we worked on it together. And yeah, so it combines an entirely new mouse skate shape and a new material that hasn't been used in skates before.
That's pretty exciting. Are these going to be under the Tekkusai brand? The Fine Max and the skates?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think at first yes, but if they are truly as good as I say they are, they're going to be turned into likely Glsswrks skates, replacing the old ones at some point later.
Again, don't really glaze, but there's been an immeasurable amount of hype for me throughout this episode, so I must try all these things.
I kind of like cast a wide net and said I want to work on all these things and make them as good as I can, and then see what happens. So I'm just as excited. Like, I share that excitement, and that's the reason I make them. Right? I'm not saying these skates will be the greatest because they're not battle tested yet. But that's the goal. If they don't reach that goal, they'll be canceled. And that's kind of like how I do things. I announce things way too early, and then people are like, well, where is this? I'm like, well, it's either not ready or I canceled it. So I'm sorry.
How many different projects have we talked about that you're working on so far? Like 6?
I know.
That's like half of them. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think I do it to myself just so I never feel bored. I just kind of like overload myself with projects, so I always have something to do because I love thinking about stuff. I love being busy all the time.
You're like me with Claude Code, but you actually deliver something. I have like eight different project repos open with Claude Code right now. I create an app to access it remotely, and like none of them are finished yet, but damn, it's fun. So
Well, you probably have stuff that never sees the light of day, but like is a good idea or something.
I've done 3 things recently that Claude released different versions of later, and I was like, damn it, why didn't I just like
No, like what? Do you have any examples that you could share, or is it too complex to explain?
I wanted to access my Claude sessions on my local terminal, but on my phone. So I wrote like both a web app and an iOS app using Claude Code.
But aren't they releasing that feature soon though? They've been talking about it.
They released a remote app that sort of does it. You have to like shift the session to mobile, but like if the session closes on your laptop, you lose it. Sort of a thing. It's like not quite. My app does more, but it's also buggier because they're Anthropic and they do better things with a large team. So,
that's fair. It's really fun making like those little apps for yourself with like Claude or Codex, right? You can make like really just like I want this, and you're like, wait, I can make that. And
exactly,
I still forget that sometimes. Like, hey, I can just make that with Codex or Claude now. It's really cool.
I have an app I haven't tested yet that should detect that this episode finishes, download it, upload it to RSS, and get it ready for Spotify and get timestamps. But I haven't tested it yet because I don't have time. But it was written.
Knowing Claude, the first version of it will download the first half and then upload it to a different channel.
Yes, it will. Yeah, it's like when I tried to do a Discord bot, but I didn't test it thoroughly, and like I went live, but it grabbed the video from the side of the like YouTube because I was like doing it in a hacky way. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it's too funny.
AI code can be funny until you iterate.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's really cool that we can do this stuff now. We couldn't really do that like 2 years ago.
No, not at all. No, the most fun I've had is writing like an agent protocol, like developing framework around Claude that like makes it work better. I could work on that all day long and never actually produce a real product.
I have something similar that I want to tell you about outside of this episode because I think that's gonna just like be really boring for most people.
Yeah, we should stop.
I spent at least like 2 months on this insane project, so I'll tell you later because that's
for sure. Yeah.
We have a bunch of questions in chat about Duality. Any updates?
Duality. That's another project that I announced way too early because it was so cool. And by doing so, I actually gave all my competitors a chance to make it before me. So if you do, please make it. I would love to see your iteration of it. I love competition. I think we should all aspire to compete and help each other out, and shout out like everybody that we think are like anyone who's doing a good job making any product or doing something cool. We should always talk about it. I'll always support products that I love, like from Vaxi and Lethal and Pulsar and PMM, and I think there are so many cool projects in the space like Hitscan, and I even love some WL mouse stuff, even though I prefer their older mice. Like I still think they do a great job with a lot of their products. So that's kind of like, I'd like to see a little bit more of that in the community. But the Duality, let's get back to that. It will be released. It's just a little bit too early now. But I think I'll have a finished prototype by April, and then it will be produced shortly after that. So basically the reason it's been delayed, because you can always expect a delay with me, is the base was made out of silicone, and silicone is a little bit too soft for this use case of like having a reversible glass. Because that's the whole idea of Duality, is that you could just reverse the glass pad, and on the other side you have a different surface, right? But you have to take it out of its slot, and the slot is like the silicone, right? And then you flip just the glass and put it back in the silicone slot. Then you get the other side of the glass. So that was too soft, so now we're looking at making it either with metal or with a different base. Like not the glass will stay glass. I'm just talking about the base. Will be made out of metal or a different kind of plastic material that can be less soft, so that it can, not deform as much during this process. But everything else is done. I already have the double-sided glass. I have the designs. They feel great. Now it's about making the mold for the base that fits the glass and that stays put on your desk and doesn't warp and doesn't you don't want any kind of like wiggle or instability on your glass pad, because that feels freaking awful. But yeah, it will be. Okay. It should be released before summer. I'm gonna say, don't quote me on that, but everyone's
take his time frame and double it.
It's like turning into Elon Musk, where he said self-driving cars will be perfect by 2017, and here we are in 2026, and they still aren't perfect.
Yeah, I think the difference is you're like trying to develop a quality product, and he's a little bit as a CEO trying to develop hype for funding.
I try to do both. Well, not the funding part, but I love hype because I genuinely get excited about this stuff. And then I announce it too early because I can't help it, because I'm an idiot. And then everyone gets annoyed that it takes so long. So I'm trying to do less of that, but I can't. I don't know. It's just like a personality thing, personality quirk. I just love sharing that stuff when I think it has substance.
Yeah.
I can definitely see why it's annoying some people, because if I'd never announced it, nobody would care, right? No, because it doesn't exist. And then I can announce it when it's close to release, and everybody's happy because it's close to release. So I do get why it's annoying. I do try to do less of that now. But I promise everything that's good is coming still.
Okay. The last question I have for you here is, what advice would you give to somebody trying to start a mouse pad or mouse company? This scene, I guess.
Oh, sorry. Were you cutting out, or was it just me?
Oh, was I?
Maybe
okay.
It was just me. I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah.
If you could repeat that.
What is some advice you would give to somebody trying to start a business?
Like peripherals, or?
Let's stick with peripherals.
Don't try to be a clone. There's too much of that going on, in my opinion. I think people see clones like, oh, look, it's a cheaper clone of this. I don't like that. I think that's lazy. That's the easy way out. I think you should try to make something of your own. I know it's harder to make things that are truly yours when you're just starting out, because it costs more and minimum order quantities are higher. But as much as you can, try to make it something you truly love, that you believe in. And then everything will fall into place, right? Because if you truly love something and you're passionate about it, you're going to put that time into it, that care into it. And people, I think, can feel that when they get a product that somebody really cares about. You can feel the difference between one that's cared for and one that's like, oh, this was just like a cash grab or like a clone or whatever. And I always found it strange, even in 2022, with the old owner of I won't say the name, but certain brands where they were like, we made the best clone of this mouse pad, and I'm like, why are you proud of that? Like, I'm like, that's
sure.
that's not a cool thing in my opinion. That's basically theft. Like, just because that thing wasn't, I guess, you know,
Min-maxed, optimized.
yeah, it's like, just because that mouse shape or that mouse pad, you know, there is no like copyright or whatever, right? There's
Oh,
nothing to enforce. There's no patent, right? Just because it doesn't have one doesn't mean you should go and copy it. You should respect that person's work, that team's work that worked on it so hard. So I really don't like seeing clones. Now, I'm not saying you can't make clones. You can. You can completely disregard my advice and go and make clones. Many other brands do. I just think my advice is don't do that. That's the easy way out. Be unique, be bold, make things you love, listen to people that you trust and to yourself first, and put in the work. You know, don't wait for somebody else to do something. Nobody will do it. You have to do it.
Yeah, I like that idea. I like that. Your goal should be to innovate and to add something, not just steal. Sure.
Yeah,
Dazz?
as I call it, steal. Some
Yeah.
brands might not like that framing, but that's how I see it.
I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Yeah. Somewhat.
Yeah, I try not to steal as much
To an
as I
extent.
can. If I do, it's accidental.
Yeah, I do think, I mean, a little bit of devil's advocate to that. I do think a lot of things with gaming mice are converging, right? You can perfectly fine use a mouse from 2023 in a competitive setting compared to a mouse today. You know, like think Lamzo Atlantis.
Well, also the thing is, being inspired by something is not the same as what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like clones, not like it's similar to a Raiden or similar to this mouse shape, right? Because if you're inspired by something and you make something similar, that's totally fine. That's how we get inspired. But just like a lazy clone is like, come on, you can do better than that.
Yeah, I know. The first job I had out of college, it was a startup, and we quickly learned it was industrial equipment, so totally different. But if all you're doing is cloning, then it becomes a race to the bottom of price, and that's something that, like, quite frankly, Canadian or American, you're not gonna really achieve that compared to. Then you're competing with people who are maybe willing to do it out of passion and not for money, or willing to do things unsustainably or illicitly even. Race to the bottom is never the solution. Innovation is always going to be more sustainable.
Yeah, I think I 100% agree with that. It hurts me to say, I think, you know, clones coming out of China for mouse pads and mice and keyboards and all of these peripherals are bad for innovation. Because if people start buying more of that and less of the innovative products, there will just be less innovative products. I'm not saying they're useless. I'm not saying people shouldn't spend their money how they like. I'm just saying from this side of the business, seeing it's a bit disheartening at times, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not gonna try and stop anyone from doing that. But they take other people's hard work, sell it for cheaper because they can. Because they have way less overhead, they take shortcuts. There's no customer service. They sell it for cheaper, and then they don't care about the damage that they do to those companies. And it's not a customer's job to care about that either. So I'm not telling customers not to buy that. It's not your job to care. Buy what you want. But from our side of the business, it's annoying seeing that, even though we're not really affected by it yet. Just seeing it happen to other brands is a bit disheartening. I'm like, man, they just stole that shape. I'm like, man, they just took the Type 99, made it 5 times cheaper and released it. You know, I don't like seeing that. I think that's cheap. And I'm sure you know which brands I'm referring to. I won't have to even name them.
I mean, just look at my channel. It's hard as a reviewer because, like, those are the things people want to know about.
Of course,
they're affordable.
You can't not report and talk about them because that's your job. That is your job, and you're also fascinated by, hey, what can they do at that price? I'm not here to blame anyone. I'm just saying from our side of the business, it's a bit disheartening seeing the trend going that way. And that's why also it forces us to make products that are great, that are cheaper as well. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just shifts the business in a different direction. but I'm hoping to still be able to focus on innovation and premium products because that's what I
Mhm.
love and care about, and that's where my perspective comes from.
Make a gaming headset that doesn't suck.
I know.
Yes, I want to.
People would pay for it too. Every single one seems to have some major compromise. I do think,
They do.
devil's advocate again, though, I do think there's a level of cloning or iterating, optimizing can be a good thing to fight stagnation. For example, I'm going to pick on the G Pro
Yes.
X Super Light that we didn't get GPX2 until, what was it? Was it last year? Was it 2020, like late 2024 that we got?
I
Yeah.
believe, yeah.
And like at the same time, late 2024, we got mice like the Maya X and the Hitscan Hyperlight, which are like different shapes. I'm sorry, but way, way better products. Meanwhile, you're using a GPX one with micro USB.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so clones can be good if you're actually improving the product. So if the product has like a good aspect to it, like a shape or something that you like,
Mm-hmm.
but everything else kind of is like subpar or out of date, and the other company's refusing to do it, and then you're like, hey, this is an opportunity to do something cool, and then you iterate on that, and you actually make it meaningfully better. That's great, in my opinion. I think the problem comes from when you're just trying to clone it and sell it for cheaper, basically. Not necessarily from trying to innovate. I think that's a good point to add to what we were talking about, is that trying to like innovate or make something better is not the same as cloning and making it cheaper. There is a distinction.
Sure.
I'm sitting here just not making a GPX joke. So every GPX clone. No, I'm just kidding.
I think that was it for the questions I had. Dazz, did you have any burning questions?
Well, half the questions we had on here were answered in just like a very eloquent fashion, and then I would think of a bunch of questions and forget them as we were going. But no, nothing from the top section though. It's great stuff.
Okay, well, we usually end our little interview here with 2 questions. The first one is there anything important that we might have missed?
Anything important? Okay, give me 5 seconds to think. I'm looking around because I have stuff here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, luckily we
yeah.
have chat here who's giving us Duality, Skate, Hitscan.
One thing I'll say is it's a good thing that your pads are not always in stock, because I'd be a lot poorer of a person.
Okay, so one thing I will say that I kind of understated is actually how excited I am for the Kurosun cloth mouse pads, and how much innovation and time and money and different factories and different countries have gone into it over just the last year and a half. None of it was released, but there's still money and innovation and time and some smart people that I'm working with that are getting involved. That it's really exciting to see where that goes, because I think cloth is also an aspect that can be greatly improved and iterated on in addition to glass mouse pads. I think surfaces have a long way to go. And I think we've just started to kind of like scratch the surface of what is possible to do with glass like topography, with just kind of like how you map the surface of a glass after you produce it. You can map it, and then you can understand what you did, and then decide to change the process to change the surface and create your own custom surface and not a pre-made one from the factory preset, right? So that's what we did with Polarity, is we made our own surface. And with cloth pads, you do that in a different way, because like you have the actual textile, so it's about the weave and the thread size and so many different like variables. And with cloth, we realized that there's more to it than just the textile, and that's something I'm excited to talk about more soon, maybe later this year. Hopefully I'll be able to talk about it more.
It's very interesting because there's a couple things that I guess a lot of people in the community might say, like, oh, this is solved. Like, yeah, mouse skates, we've solved this. Like, surfaces for mouse pads, we've solved that.
Yeah.
It's interesting to hear you have a much different take on it.
It's refreshing.
Yeah, in my opinion, skates and mousepad surfaces are not solved. Like, not even 50%.
very curious to see where it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last question is, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah. So, how long have you guys known each other?
I tried to. Was it
March 24?
Yeah.
When did I like post an OP1 Wii or OP1? Was it Wii? Yeah.
Yeah.
On
Okay,
eBay.
March 24th.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
long.
No.
2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
So, do you guys see yourselves as like kind of like friends, colleagues, or both?
Yeah.
I would say for
Oh.
sure friends at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Friends. Awesome.
That's how.
I love to see that.
It was. We met up over eBay. He was selling an OP1 Wii, and we were
Oh.
local to each other because eBay shows the
Oh, that's
location.
awesome.
Applebee's parking lot. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. It was an Applebee's.
I think it was.
Yeah. And then
I
after
love to see
that, yeah, so that was like spring of 24. And then I think we just chit-chatted on and off and then started
I played
Mousecast.
like Battlefield with you one time.
Yeah, we didn't game a whole lot. We weren't really talking to, not a ton. But then when I started Mousecast. I had the idea for Mousecast November of 2024, and like literally just a few days before. I've told this story too many times, but literally like 2 days before I was gonna go live for the first time, I was like, "Hey, would you want to like co-host?" And Dazz doesn't have a channel or anything at this time. If anything, you were kind of nervous, if I recall.
Oh yeah, very anxious about it, but I like FOMO'd myself into it basically. So.
And then
Hey,
one
that's kind of like how I started playing bass. Because when I was in high school, they were like, "Hey, we need a bassist," the classic high school rock band. And I was like, "I don't play bass." They're like, "Well, you do now. Good luck."
Nice.
And I was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna get on stage though to play for the school or whatever." And they're like, "Yes, you are." Okay, well, I guess I have to learn how to not be afraid of performing now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
sometimes it's
Oh,
good. It's
that's
good to do
weird.
that, right? Like, get out of your
Oh, for
comfort
sure.
zone and try things that you might be scared to do, because those might be the most important things to do.
Yeah, if you watch the first couple
Yeah.
episodes of this, I'm just like a statue and just like staring at myself on the camera, so uncomfortable. Like I don't hate the sound of my own voice anymore on like recordings, which is
Mhm.
refreshing too. So
Yeah, everyone
That's the
goes
best
through
part.
that.
That's the best part about doing things that you're scared of. You realize later they're not so bad. They're just different. You have to learn how to do them.
like almost everything. It's incredible.
Almost everything. Yeah, it's
The amount of
incredible
anxiety.
how complicated you think something is until you learn it, and you're like, wait, now that I know it, it's not complicated at all. It's just. It happened to me with music production. I looked at it and I was like, this looks like a fucking cockpit. Sorry for my swearing. I don't know if you guys swear.
It's fine.
here. So,
At this point,
We're
it's not
far
really
enough
fun.
along. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can say whatever.
it's like it looks like a cockpit. I don't know what I'm looking at, and I tried for a year. I didn't understand what's going on. I gave up on it. Then someone
Mhm.
showed me the ropes. Somebody who knew how to produce music. This was like back in 2009, and now that I know how to work my way around a DAW, right? I know how to make a song from scratch. I know every tool that I use. It's so incredibly simple. But I always go back to that to tell myself, something that at the time I thought looked impossible or incredibly complex. That's how I approach everything now. I tell myself, okay, this might look really, really complex now and it might be daunting, but remember the music production lesson. Once you learn it, this also will not be complicated.
Yeah, that's a really good, in general, just in life, whether it's work or school, just taking the approach of willing to learn things. I know the thing I tell myself, if I'm like, the first time I worked on my car, it was like to save money because my transmission went into limp mode and I didn't want to spend, the shop quoted me $2,000. And I remember thinking to myself, dumber people than me have replaced a transmission control module.
Yes, they certainly have. Many, maybe even millions.
So that's a good attitude to. I
Yeah.
guess mine's a little bit disparaging, but you're a little bit more wholesome with, I'm going to learn a new skill.
Just make a list of all the thoughts, disparaging or not, and then if you need encouragement, just run down the list. So like, you'll find
Yeah,
one maybe that helps. Yeah.
And hey, you know what? Nowadays with like AI, like Claude is great at teaching. Even GPT is good at teaching now with the newer models. They're really, really good at that stuff. I mean, don't take it at face value. Always double check if it's something important, but
Mhm.
they are good at teaching generally. So that's a great way to start if you're unsure about something. Like, hey, I don't know how to do this. What's the best way? Right? Boom. Back in my day, it was YouTube.
Yeah.
Finding tutorials on YouTube in like 2008 when I was trying to learn how to produce music. But now you can just go to AI and be like, hey, what's the best way to start? Making my own sound in a synthesizer. Boom, there you
go. Yeah. Any other questions for us?
Any other questions for you? Okay. Do you have any regulars in the chat that you see basically in almost every interview, or is it mostly different people that come from those people?
We definitely have regulars. Yeah, Melon's been in here. Boy Guru's in here.
There's no hope, Melon.
I see Melon shit. I see Melon shit posting already.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you see Stubby tweeted like a screenshot of a text message between him and his brother was like, "Go touch some grass." He was like, "I literally haven't talked to you in forever." I don't know. Or he was a wildlife photographer, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We do have.
I see a few questions that I think I can answer.
Yeah.
We always have Schwamper and
Schwamper's in our Discord. Yeah.
People from the Discord server. And
yeah, Neptune I recognize.
Neon Thunder. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same talkative people. Yeah.
Yeah, your chat is awesome. Your people are really. Your community is very supportive. I see. It's very refreshing to see compared to sometimes
Twitter.
what I see on Twitter and then my DMs that I have to block from time to time. I'm like, oh god.
Somehow the Discord server that we're in has up to 700 people, and we ban 2 or 3 people maybe all time. It's somehow not toxic, which is incredible.
I think part of it's podcast format's long form, so we have more adults and less Adderall fueled
less
teenagers.
TikTok brain.
Yeah.
One can hope.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us though. Sometimes we get stuck in loops of just doom scrolling nonsense, and it just pollutes our brain. But yeah, your community is awesome, and if there are any questions here that I can answer before we go, then I'd love to. I see some stuff about the duality size. Yes, it is 500 by 450, and that will be the only size.
Based
500 by 450 millimeters, just like my other glass pads. Can AI teach me to touch some grass? Actually, yes, Melon, it can. If you ask it what activities you can do outside instead of being indoors all day, it will give you some great pointers based on your location. Do I see anything else? Surface, he gave lethal gaming. Okay, that's a real question, and that's a good question. So the beast, the Surface, was going to go the lethal, and he was going to make Planet 9 with it, which was going to be his first glass mousepad. Because Lethal loved that Surface, the B Surface, and told me that that was the first glass mousepad he's ever liked, and that it was the only interesting glass surface he's ever tried. And he's like, I would like to work with you or whoever made this to make it into a similar but slightly different thing. And we started working together, and I said, hey, you know what? I'm not releasing more versions of the Beast. It's pretty much done. It was a one-time surface. I'm moving on. So if you want to make it into a continuous run, production run, that would be great, because I know a lot of people would love that, because they love that surface. And he's like, yeah, I would love to. But then at the time, the Pulsar merger was starting to happen, so it was it never materialized. And so that Planet 9 pad that he even sent some reviewers and testers never actually came to life. That eventually turned into the Superglide version 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so
I had no idea.
Yeah, they did take that surface. They didn't make it with the same factory as the Beast. They didn't do it without my permission at that factory. They didn't copy the surface 1-to-1. This was more of one of those cases where they took that they liked the Beast, and they said, you know what, let's take it to our factory, make it better for us, for that what they think is better, and then release that, more globally and more readily available. So I think that pad is not treated unlike the Beast, and it has different edges, different thickness, different glass material, slightly different surface, but it is generally heavily inspired by the Beast surface, which, or you could say by Planet 9 that was given to Lethal, because that was agreed upon. It's not like they just took the surface and stole it or something. Really cool stuff. So if anybody's looking for a Beast-like surface, the Pulsar Superglide V3 is definitely your choice, and go and support them for, finding somebody who was at the time a small creator like me and saying, hey, we could make something out of this for sure.
I may have to go scoop one up, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pulsar has been very cool with me, and I like the people that work there. Actually, three people that I was close with now work at Pulsar, so I think that means a lot to me as a person to know that so many people that I work with and look up to even work with Pulsar. That tells me that the people at Pulsar that manage it and that work there are really passionate, and they understand what makes great products, great teams, great people. So shout out to Pulsar.
Yeah, I was happy to see ZK head that way.
Yeah.
Cool
Yeah,
dude.
Frosty
Had
was
others
working
too.
with us
Yeah.
for a few months there before he moved on to Lamzu and then to Pulsar. And Frosty was a really, really talented, like hardworking guy. He was really passionate. He was just always looking for more work. We couldn't give him enough work to do. So I'm glad he found that.
Yeah.
He found that. Now I'm really happy for him. He's a great guy. And then of course Lethal Gaming Gear, who now also works with Pulsar, and then I have a few other contacts from my first few years of work that have moved away from whatever they were doing and also joined Pulsar. So crazy. Pulsar is on a run.
Yeah.
And they produce so many things. It's impressive.
Too many SKUs. Yeah. I had questions for you about, strategy with SKUs and stuff, but I think we should save that for if you want to come back on another time.
The strategy is throw things at the wall and see what sticks. You never know. That's when you release a lot of SKUs, that's kind of what you have to do, and you have to pray that your QC is good enough. And I think that's why, for example, Pulsar invested so much into their QC facility. What was it, a year and a half ago or more, even, when they invested in it? 2 years?
Yeah, ZK talked about that too. Just so much more in depth than what I think we as consumers really realize. Are you able to rapid fire answer some of these questions in chat?
Yeah, let's see. Will one side of the duality be similar to the polarity? Ish, in the sense that it's smooth and a little bit slower, but I think it will be a smoother surface, so it's more similar to the Kazumi than the polarity.
Mm-hmm.
And the other side is kind of like an even more textured and faster version of the Glsswrks Zane. So it's you can kind of think of it as like a Kazumi on one side and a faster, more textured Zane on the other side.
Okay.
For anyone familiar with that, basically what it means is really fast, textured glass surface on one side and very smooth and more balanced on the other side, with more like micro control.
Yeah, that sounds
so
interesting.
You can just flip the glass and pick whatever you want at any time. It takes 5 seconds to flip it.
Tekk, what do you think about hard pads that aren't glass? I know the one that I always is the NPET Speed M.
For me, hard pass. I never saw the appeal. I tried a lot of them. I tried to think of ways to develop mine. I do have one idea, or something crazy, which is like not a hard pad and not a soft pad. And I've been working with somebody, with a member of my community that is really heavily into chemistry. And he had like this crazy out there idea to try something, so we will try it at some point. But generally, I don't have a great interest in it, because I think if you want a hard pad that lasts and you care about speed, you go glass or metal, right? To do gaming, make some great stuff. Yeah, they make some great stuff. So you go glass, metal, you go with a hard pad. If you want a cloth pad, you go with the cloth pad. Now, if you want something a bit more unique, there is more unique stuff like coated cloth pads, like the Shirinkai, or there's all kinds of interesting cloth pads and things that you can do with them. But that stuff in between, I think, is mostly interesting to like hardcore enthusiasts that are just curious. But I have not seen a single person ever main any of those pads. I don't know, maybe you guys have. I've never seen anyone main those pads.
Do you,
Forzes is a regular asking about size and grip of the mouse, but I'm not sure you want to reveal anything about the mouse shape.
Sorry, what's the question? What's the size and
size grip?
grip?
mouse
Oh,
you're using.
okay. So it's like a what I call a schmedium. Yeah, and it's around 117.5 millimeters in length.
around gives a decimal point.
Right around.
Yeah, around a 117.47. No, I'm joking. 117.5 millimeters in length, and it has a really interesting shape. It borrows from a lot of little things from mice that I like, but it doesn't lean into any one mouse shape in particular. People that I've let test the shape, the 3D printed shape, told me it feels like somehow a OP1 X2 and almost like a U2 and ULX all at once. It's a very, very strange shape in a good way, in my opinion. I think it fits many hand sizes, just not extra large. And in terms of the grip style, it's claw first and fingertip. Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely incredibly well suited for large, medium, and small hands, to just not extra large hands. If you claw, any kind of claw actually, or if you fingertip. And for kind of like, if you want to palm it, you can. I think medium and small hands can palm it, just not large or extra large. But it is a very universal shape, but not in an egg kind of way, not like in a Logitech super light kind of way, in a more thought out way where I tried to grip it really in every way that I could think when I was testing the shapes, until I was like, wow, it's actually comfortable in pretty much all of them, in every way. And I had to make small adjustments. I made over 30 iterations and printed all of them until I was satisfied.
That's a really good size mouse, I think, to be consistent in game, but also like I feel like that size is good for peaking and aim training. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that was a sweet spot. Like anything less than that, I was like, okay, you're leaning too heavily into the small mice thing. Anything larger than that, I'm like, too hard to fingertip grip. So
30
that was
iterations.
just right.
30 iterations is nice to hear. Yeah. I don't know why that just made me laugh. It's like, good, we got a seal of approval. If you haven't done 30 iterations, it's no good.
It's kind of true though, because you have to be, I mean, sometimes things don't take that many iterations and you just land on something you like. But I mean, I knew where I wanted to go. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. So I think 30 iterations made sense for me. It only took like less than 2 months to do that. So I think in terms of the sides, I see a question on the sides. Whether they're flat, well, yes and no, because the sides actually do taper in a little bit and they're not perfectly flat, but it doesn't feel as tapered, because there's also I don't want to give away too much but I was trying to figure out, is there like a thumb groove kind of feel in terms of like where you hold the mouse and then where you put your pinky and ring finger? I was thinking, is there like a little groove we can do that spans the entire length of the sides while keeping it kind of like flat and not too narrow? Because I dislike narrow mice. Like I love the OP1's shape, but I don't like how narrow it is for me. Even with fingertip grip, I don't think the narrowest is the best. I know people say, oh, you can max out your aim with the most narrow mouse that you can still grip. I don't buy into that. I think a little bit wider than that is fine, and you're still going to perform great. So I'm not trying to make the most narrow mouse. So it is wider than something like the OP1, but it's not quite as wide as something like the X2. So it's just like a nice middle ground, and it does have kind of like those comfort grooves, I would say, not just on the clicks, but actually on the sides as well. So to answer, I actually answered another question that nobody asked. Is like it does have comfort grooves on the mouse 1 and mouse 2. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know why like comfort grooves should just be like a standard, dude. I don't. They're great.
Agree. Just not too deep, because you don't want to lock people into just one little part of the the clicks. It has to be a little more forgiving, but it should add comfort.
Yeah,
as the name would
but
suggest.
like Wise Owl Cloud, I absolutely love. But then the buttons are really rounded, like a ladybug's wings or something. It's like, where do
like
I?
the opposite of a comfort group.
Yeah.
right? That's what we're
Pretty
talking-
much,
Yeah.
The anti-comfort group. I think they did
Yeah.
that on purpose to say, hey, we really dislike comfort groups.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like an old school aesthetic. Whatever.
I love their build quality though. It's fantastic.
Well, if you want to keep talking mice, I think we're gonna want to get into the news here with the next part of the show. Are you gonna stick around, Tekk?
I'll do a few.
Okay.
I have to go eat after that because I'm stupid and forgot to eat before the show. So I haven't eaten anything since like
That's classic
3 or
stuff.
4 p.m.
Dude, it's
Since
11
we went to
p.m.
college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, this
Yeah,
is.
I'm starving. So I'll do
Oh,
a
dude.
few.
But the mouse news, you're not fulfilled by. All right. So guys, I guess where can people no, we'll do your sign off later. All right, let's jump into the news. I don't want to turn on the news banner and cover you up, so we're gonna do the first bit of news and get rid of my retention gameplay. No, what? Viper V4 Pro released updated pics. Ugh. There
Nope,
was
no pics.
okay. No, this was on Twitter. Let's see if I can find it there. So the Viper V4 Pro, somebody snapped photos of it in a store, not a US based store. There's that one from JQ. Boardsy just found out about the Viper V3 Pro SE. Oh, look, who's this guy? So we have, here's the pictures.
Big news on the Viper V3 Pro, if true.
Yeah. V4 Pro, it looks pretty much the same shape. I haven't confirmed that, but we have the big Death Adder V4 type dongle, their new updated switches, Razer optical scroll wheel. So it's just like Death Adder V4. The one
I'm sure
surprise.
The
Yeah.
optical, sorry, the slightly updated sensor as well that tracks better on glass pads. Important to note.
Yeah, that's right. Some people have had issues. I think the only surprise for me here that Dazz hinted at last week was 49 grams. They did actually reduce the weight from 54. That's cool.
I feel like that's a pretty good weight for that kind of like size class.
It is.
Especially
yes.
for a combination of hitting like the
Yeah.
pro market and the consumer market that wants lower weight. It's right on that line where it's like good for everyone.
And I think people are all butthurt because they're like, where's my haptic system? It's like, that shit was in development by Logitech for like probably the past 2-3 years. Oh, you haven't returned it?
I'm not returning it anymore. I'm letting
do,
it
do,
go.
do, do you want a small leak regarding that?
We would love
Always?
that.
Every mouse company in China is working on that right now, and it's only going to take a few months.
The second part, only going to take a few months.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
Daz.
like the
Okay.
people I've been talking to have been telling me if you want that, we can have it ready like by summertime. The magnetic switches for mice. Yeah. So
Is it gonna be
very close?
good?
I think probably by August
Hmm.
to September, you're going to start seeing the first ones releasing with it. I don't know if their firmware will be good, but I'm sure someone will want to release it first, so that even if it's not good, they can say it's first. So there is that.
Damn. What am I gonna do with my soldering iron? I'm
Everybody was saying it's an emergency, that Logitech
Yeah.
essentially changed the game overnight, and they're all pivoting to that.
yeah.
CK sort of hinted at, or Frosty hinted at the same thing.
Yeah, I guess I just leaked it a little bit more than the factories would have liked, but I think that's fine. I don't think a factory is gonna come after my head.
Nobody's surprised. Like the GPX, there's nothing really special about it at this point in time. Like the sensor's pretty energy efficient, I guess, but haptic buttons is what breathed new life into that product line. So now the
That
bar.
kinda leads us into another question. Why, Tekk, do you prefer the 3395 over the 39?
Oh yeah,
Because of the 3950 is a defective sensor by PixArt.
because of glass tracking.
Yes, they did not put any work into it at all. They didn't think about clear glass mouse pads. And I can't say too much, but they're correcting that error with a future variant of the PixArt. So yeah, I mean, I already said everything, actually. I'm not saying the names of the products and when they'll come.
Yeah.
So they are aware of it. They just don't want to do anything about it. And yes, I am salty about it.
Yeah.
Because it directly affects me as a person who makes clear glass mouse pads.
Yes.
And the 3395 tracks perfectly. Logitech mice, if you turn off the game's surface mode,
Yeah.
tracks perfectly. New Razer 3950. So I always recommend anything but 3950. But sadly, the whole peripheral community moved to 3950, which created more problems for my clear glass pads. So I've had to find creative ways to deal with that in terms of what products I make and how I make them.
We're back on live in the stream there. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
information though.
do people need to be afraid? Like, should people be panicking and going out and getting rid of their 3950 mice if they're on glass? Like, what's the nature of the issue?
Well, not every glass pad. This issue is more unique to my glass pads because I chase clear glass pads, right?
Yeah.
Because I love the clarity. I love seeing the design underneath, and I also think it's just glass materials that are made clearer in our case because we use like the NSG Glenova from Japan in Glsswrks pads. They're made with very high quality control, and they're very consistent, and they're chemically treated, and they're incredibly high quality. So we want to use them, but they're very clear. So we have to etch them, meaning like give them a texture that's powerful enough for sensors to read for impeccable sensor performance, because that's really important. But even then, certain 3950 sensors might have a problem with a certain color on clear glass. So yes, it is a specific issue. I understand why maybe they don't care about it as much. But it's not going to affect all glass materials or all glass pads. But yeah, in general, 3950 sensors are just not as good at glass. And even Razer was aware of that. Many years ago, one of their engineers, I think on Reddit, was saying that they found out that the 3950 was not sufficient in their testing for glass pads, and they wanted to move on away from it as quickly as possible to the next generation.
Interesting.
So their testing revealed that as well. And then they were really happy with the next generation of their exclusive, PixArt sensor, which that's kind of going to be trickling down soon to us, to the next generation of PixArt for everybody else. So that's why I'm a little bit more positive about that. So we can all move away from the horrors of the 3950, aka the worst sensor in history of sensors.
Man, as a person who just uses cloth pads,
that doesn't matter to you at all. It's
I'm
the
really
same
glad
thing.
I don't. Yeah.
3395, 3950, or the next gen of PixArt will be exactly the same for cloth pad users.
Yeah.
So going back to the Viper V4, I think this was a pretty underwhelming reception for a lot of people. Me personally, it's improving. It's not major improvements to a product, but it's improving in every way. 54H20, optical encoder, new, more tactile switches. I'm happy with this. And the 49 gram weight, people are like, oh, who cares? It's a little bit lighter. Bro, you want to know the last 49 gram weight mouse Razer released? It was a magnesium Viper Mini SE with holes that cost $300.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
And my QC on two, I had two of them. My QC on both of them was bad because I had the first batch. And then I heard the fifth or sixth batch were amazing. And I'm like, hey, where can I get the fifth or sixth batch, or am I stuck with this? So yeah, you're stuck with that, just by the way, in case anyone was wondering.
Damn. Anyway, I actually am selling my Viper V3s in preparation because I don't like the switches.
But it's great to see this. The Viper V4 looks great. I just want a mini version of this. Just give me that.
I know. Where is it, dude? Like, Tekkusai has one, but yeah.
Now give me a 43 gram version of this mini, of this exact thing.
Yeah.
I'll take even a 45 gram version.
So, next bit of news, Glsswrks gear. No pictures, but we are developing a new Ambi mouse launching later this year. Currently in early shape trials. What colors would you like to see? First of all, back up. I thought the last Glsswrks release we saw was teased with some Lamzu stuff, and it was a Dex clone. But we're getting another Ambi this year.
That
That's
got
cool.
delayed. Source them. Yeah. So
Oh, okay. Well, sure. I'm down with
that
another
was months
Ambi.
ago. Yeah.
What? Okay, discussion questions for you guys. What shape do you think they're gonna do? And then, yeah, sure. What colors?
Well, they already kind of went for that kind of like big hump, small shape relatively.
Yeah, we've
So,
got rear
mi-
hump
mi- mi- yeah, maybe a larger shape.
and mid hump.
Something like an FK maybe.
Okay, would be
Yeah.
cool.
Larger and flatter.
Yeah, larger and flatter, maybe to kind of compete with either like the
FS1.
Vipers or the FKs, or something
FS1
a
has
bit flatter
been
and longer.
positively
I guess.
received, but everyone's like $180. Yeah, no more
That's cool,
Viper
though.
clones.
I like Skyrocks mice. I thought that the V6 and V8 or
Oh yeah,
the ones I've tried in the past were really, really good. And I like their unboxing and the price too. My
Yeah.
quality on my copy was really good.
I'm convinced
What I would
my
expect
V6
from-
short. Okay.
Sorry.
I'm convinced my V6 short popped off because of the way the box opened. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh no.
yeah. I liked Tenta X Azar's what was his glass pad that the guy threw down the stairs on Twitter or threw out the window?
Oni's Oath?
Oni's
Uh,
Oath, yeah.
And that was Logpile made a video of it too.
Oh, that was
yeah.
log, yeah. Yeah, that was
Oh,
funny.
yeah, 'cause I had the carrying case.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like a large shape from them. No more Viper V3 shapes though. No more GPX. Give us something, yeah, like an
You
FK.
don't want another Sora clone?
Yeah.
Dude. All right.
I see some people asking. Somebody asked if the 3950 sensor would have issues with black glass, kind of like the black version of the polarity. No, 3950 has more issues with white or like light transitions from like really dark to really light back and forth. So if it's just like a black or like dark in general, then no problems.
Does the lighting in the room affect it at all? Or is it
Yes,
purely
the lighting in the room,
Okay.
the lighting on the from the bottom of your mouse, and even
Okay.
how reflective the surface or even the color of the mouse pad is can all affect it. So can skate thickness. So there's a quick way to reset some of them. So for what I mean by that is if you take off the skates on your 3950 mouse and you start using the mouse pad, and then you literally start using the mouse pad that a second ago didn't work, and then you put the skates back on, it will fix the tracking. Like that's how stupid the 3950 is. Yep. It like has a little auto calibration built in.
Oh
I
yeah,
just-
yeah.
So if you take off the skates, it will be like, oh, different height, right? Because it can figure out that it's a different height from
Huh.
the surface, and then it will kind of like calibrate. Then you put the skates back on, and now it recognizes the surface and tracks it properly, takes snapshots of it correctly. So strange things are happening with the 3950 that
That
no one can
sucks.
explain.
Yeah. What if you power it off and back on? Do you have to do this again?
I haven't tested that part. I don't think so.
Oh, yikes. Okay. Next mouse that we have news of, the ATK Zero is now listed to AliExpress. So this has been a long time in the making. We've talked about it a million times. There's like, I think 2 variants is my understanding. There's like a $70 variant and like a $100 variant. ATK, you can buy...
70 and 130, I believe it
Is this an X2 shape or what is this?
Yes.
Mad, yeah. It's
like a
kind of
successor to the
elongated.
VXE Mad R, basically.
Okay, so it's basically like an X2, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
elongated,
I
but
sh-
yeah.
I have one on the
VXE
way.
Mad
I've chosen the clear and pink colorway. So
Nice.
Nice.
I think that's what I would have gone with too.
I saw no reason to go for the $130 one because that's harder to like. Why would I get that? There were like no measurable differences that mattered. But I think the interesting thing is they listed the non-transparent ones 5 grams lighter. I'm assuming they had to reinforce the transparent shell more. that-
Transparent plastics also might
Is
be
it just
more dense.
5 grams.
I don't know.
though?
5 grams is a
a little
lot.
bit crazy.
That's a
Yeah,
lot. Yeah. So
it's not a battery change.
that's at least what this chart says. No, if you scroll all the way down to like all
yeah.
the differences.
Wait, what was the? They have an ATK branded encoder now.
Encoder now, yeah.
Maybe they wanted to
Yeah.
change the structure because you can actually see through and see what's inside. So they're like,
That's
it should
actually-
look clean.
Maybe.
Could be.
Yeah, I have pre-production units of the SteelSeries Black Ice Prime, and apparently that they had like a bunch of trials because the injection molding looked like crap when they went really transparent, so they purposely obscured
Yeah.
it in some areas. Anyway,
So the Extreme has the 54H, which I don't think is really a tangible reason to go for right now, specifically with the battery life
battery.
differences.
Yeah, why is it 5 grams heavier?
But like the Zero itself, the non-extreme, right, is also 5. And the difference here is the left-hand side here is solid colors, right, and then the right-hand side is transparent, and the middle and
Yeah.
right side are all transparent colorways. So
Yeah.
there's an English version of this on their site if you just go to atk.com or whatever, ATK Gear, ATK Shop.
ATK.com. Risky. Okay, go
Yeah,
back.
you know what?
Do it live. ATK.store, I think.
had to do
That
it.
was really stupid. I shouldn't have done that.
What
The fuck am I doing? I love how their website, the banner that pops up, gives you like input lag. You need to buy a new mouse. Here's the base.
We're
Yeah.
going like an arm sleeve and another clone pad away.
Why didn't I
No
just link
contact.
their website? Apparently, yeah. Last week we talked about they were developing skates.
Here it is.
Wait,
Yeah.
did they have a mini version of this or no?
No.
The only mini clone that's good is the Mchos L7. Right?
Yeah. Otherwise, just get an X2 Crazy Light mini. Like they're good mice. Crazy Lights are good mice.
No, I have the crazy light. Yeah, I have like 2 of
What
those.
colorway? What colorways?
I just have black and white.
Okay.
Or no, not white. What was the other one? It's in the box. I haven't
I
opened
have
that
like
one yet
I have an
because I
LA
keep
one.
I
need
keep
something.
backups of my favorite, and I also get sent some of them out, so I don't
Nice.
use all of them. But I do have 2 crazy lights, and I have 3 of the X2 Mini, including the Bruce Lee Friends and Family Edition one,
Ooh,
old one.
nice.
Nice. Okay. Let's
uh,
move on.
Sorry to cut you guys off. I do need to go and grab some food because
Go
my
eat.
my stomach's getting
Yes.
angry. And
Okay.
even my voice is getting like hoarse from not eating. My stomach is just about to get angrier, and I don't want to be here when that happens.
Okay, no worries. Thank you so much for coming on. If people want to follow you or contact you, where's the best place for that?
Okay, the best place is Twitter at Tekkusai, or in my Discord server. I have a Tekkusai Discord server. We have separate ones for Glsswrks and Kurosun as well, which are linked from the Tekkusai Discord server, so you can get from one to the next. So pretty simple there. Yeah, there should be links, on the website for exactly those 2 things, right?
Yep.
And the companies as well. So actually, the best place to go would be the website because it shows everything.
Okay.
It should work if the links haven't broken recently because of changes to certain things on like Discord and stuff. So I think it should work. Yeah. But yeah, that's a great place to contact me. I usually reply to everyone. I love chatting to the community and to people that have questions and people who just want to talk about anything. I usually reply. It might not be the same day, but I do reply. And I might even yap for way too long about something you didn't ask for. So beware.
It's okay. I think people like that. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We're gonna have to get you back because we only got through like a third of our total questions, but
Yeah,
it was really
like
good
two
discussion.
2.5 hours. What? Wait, am I even?
Yeah,
Has
we've
it
been
been
live
that
for a
long?
little
Yeah.
over 2 hours. Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
since
yeah,
you
we were
have one-
talking before too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Yeah, appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah, it's
See you,
great,
Tekk.
Great talking to you. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye. Bye, chat.
All right. So we're gonna go to our next bit of news, dude. What a
Banner.
great guest.
Put up the banner.
Yeah, put up the banner. I know. Unlock
I haven't tried
that.
the ATK Zero yet, chat. But mine's been ordered, so it'll be here in 2 to 4 days.
Hell yeah. I'm curious for your review of it because do you have a Madlions Mad G or Mad R?
I do still have one. I think.
Good.
Maybe. Probably.
Yeah, I just base
I don't
sanded
remember
mine,
myself, but-
But I
think
kind
I
of
sold
base
it.
sanded too much. So I would let you use mine, but it's kind of compromised. Well, that's not whatever. Let's
I can
go
check right now, but I have IEMs in, not a wireless headset, so I'm bound to my desk.
All right, next bit of news is Madlions M3. So I guess the Madlions brand name is not dead.
I really thought it was a one-time.
That's what I
Wonder,
thought
wonder.
too. I don't get it, but hey, I don't know. This feature is either AI generated or kind of weird. It has like a tic tac right at the front of it. Unfortunately, it looks like Viper V3, maybe with deeper grooves. Maybe it's a little bit smaller. Hard to tell. Please look forward to it. God, I hope it's not another Viper clone. That's all we have for that. Next bit of mouse news, we have the ATK VXE V3. Show controls? Yeah, mute. Okay. So it's a G304 or G305 copy shell posted by Devilung, the goat. Yeah, so that's nice. They maintain the DPI button. I wonder if it's actually going to be lighter weight because we have Mcho's Attack Shark daily ATK release. I do have more info here on specs. Thank you, Elastics. Great follow if you want mouse news. Mousecast is really just regurgitating Elastics posts. We have 3395 SE Womp Womp, aka 3311. 300 milliamp hour battery. There's Nearlink. These switches, these red dot transparent blue shells are actually really nice. And it's a web hub. Small dongle, Bluetooth also. There's your colorways. I'm like not interested because it's 3311. But X0 AI also. Somebody in our Discord said that it's a garbage sensor and that it spins out easily. So
You're cutting out a little bit there. Like,
am I? Is it in Discord or in?
no, it's just a little bit too far up here.
Okay, dude, my Discord, like, it's like dynamic or something. I have to regularly adjust this. Okay. Well, thank you for the heads up, Dazz. Next bit of mouse
It may have been
news.
fun on stream. Who knows?
Yeah, probably.
Ooh,
Because
what's this?
Glorious Model O
no,
Classic.
What's this?
I'm just
Why
gonna
does this
shut up
exist?
and I'm just gonna let you react.
That's my reaction.
So
Why does this
the Glorious
exist?
Model O Classic. You ask why
How
does this
different
exist?
is this from the Model O?
Meet the Model O Classic 69-gram ultra lightweight wireless performance, award-winning symmetrical shape, 100 million rated click switches,
It's like a
vibrant
JD Power
RGB.
Award, like best mouse shape.
I know, right? All right. Well, my comment. I'm so glad they got ratioed on this, dude. I have opinions. I said, why even announce this? This isn't 2020. You're not competing with the 80-gram Logitech G Pro wireless. Have your R&D team buy an ATK, Xyrox, Mchos, VXA, etc. to see where the industry has been for 1 to 2 years. Yeah. Huh? Says Elastics. Why? I still have the OG one from original release. Both is good. Why not both? Wow, that's cringe, dude.
They only responded to the positive comments. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Ultralight at 70 grams. Yeah. So I don't want to get too caught up in them advertising like 69 grams is lightweight with holes. Like, yes, that's stupid and all. I want to understand why. We all know this was
RGB still.
So
still RGB in the sides.
well, hang on. My theory is they had the Forge program, right, which they treated like a group buy because they were a keyboard company. That's what keyboard people did, and it didn't go over well. Now those Forge mice go on eBay for, I kid you not, $25. Then they have the O2 and they have the O2, right, which is like an update. The QC on these are actually pretty solid, but they're still heavy. They're still like, I want to say like 58 grams with holes.
And the clicks just don't feel too good.
Yeah, and then there is the O3, which is like a brand new thing with the hot swap battery thing, and it has a Guardian battery, so while you're hot swapping, it'll still run for like 8 hours. I guess it's an interesting idea. It's a totally different shape, and I don't know if this just isn't selling well, or if they just see a hole in the market where people. Glorious has good sales data. Maybe these are still selling in stores.
Are they on Amazon? Can you check?
The Classic, I don't know.
I would just like check their general sales on Amazon.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, Daz.
I'm curious.
Gloria, can I type, please? Glorious Model O. Okay. 50.
Just
Oh, this is
Ooh, it's a,
400 plus bought in the past month. That's not a ton.
no, it's not a lot, but
It
it's not
still
much.
is like, look at it's quadruple their Model 02, which this is more money and it's selling more.
And it's what in the consumer brain is
Okay.
happening here?
Okay, guys, the 26 people watching, you guys need to inform your dumb normie friends who are buying Glorious Mice that there are better options for $80. So the Model O Classic, here's the part that really gets my blood boiling though. The price tag, $90 for 19K optical. This is a 3370 fine sensor. It's a sensor from 2021. Glorious core, no web driver, and they're charging $90 for it, Dazz.
This is actually offensive. At
Yeah.
this point.
I was ranting to Destroyer about this because I was like, normally I don't, capitalist system, if it sells, the ends justify the means, sure. But I'm kind of mad about this because this is like e-waste, dude. This is literally doing nothing for the industry. They're trying to resell something. They're reselling old stock essentially, but there is branding on it. There's branding that says Model O Classic here, so the lower shell is different. I just don't understand it. They tried the 03 and it flopped, I assume. Sales, according to this, aren't great, right? Only 17 reviews.
List it?
It's
Yeah. Oh my God, only 17
$160.
reviews? That's so brutal, dude.
So they're just going back to like, well, everything we tried doesn't work, so let's just go back to the old school, try the old recipe. I hope it flops. I hope it's a wake up call that they just haven't been innovating in the right ways.
But like, how many wake up calls can you get before you're just asleep
I don't
forever
know.
or dead?
Yeah, they might just kill off their mouse division like what Cooler Master did. So, Sag.
Very.
Last bit of mouse news is new mouse.
They
There's,
officially e-waste now,
yeah, I know.
just because we're so offended. Yeah.
On the mouse tier list, yeah. This is a new mouse. This is actually there's more pictures because it's Alibaba OEM. It's too bad that it has a dot because like otherwise the shape looks pretty decent. Rarzies has one inbound, but he said they updated the description to 3311. So if he gets a 3311, he's returning it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we try not to talk about 3311 mice here. A couple of mouse pads. We have the Errennir Omega. This is a new surface. I asked if it was coded, and they said no. But it's a speed surface. This Jigsaw says fast with a mid base and a surface like the Wujiang 2 from ESP Tiger or the Vancer Ice, but smoother. But it's not coded. They said it's not coded. This is from Errennir, so then it gets their silicone base, which is very firm, like firmer than a mid.
I'd be curious to try this. Shit.
I know. Yeah. Errennir Omega. Let's look it up. Errennir Omega. I can never spell their $50. Okay. It's a reasonable price if it's like a unique experience. Do we have dimensions?
Call 5-star reviews, oh baby.
Yeah. Do they actually have them in hand?
Yeah.
They do have pictures from October last year? Oh, this is maybe other pads. We don't have surface. We don't have any more information. I thought we had dimensions.
Said he thinks it's glass infused, right? I mean, that would sort of make sense given the description.
That's my understanding of what a coded pad is, though. I don't know. Oh, product page. Did this have? This is the same thing. Yeah, it had like slow spots after a while. I don't know.
Oh
Coded.
my God, so bad.
Mouse control sleeve index. Yeah, the next bit of mouse news we have. Mouse control. The Reddit mod, who also has the website, is now making a sleeve index so you can compare sleeves with mousepad compatibility. This is actually huge. This is actually huge. Personally, I don't use sleeves, but yeah, he says we even test 90-degree pad orientation. Dude, what a friggin' enthusiast. Because he's not really making any money other than affiliate sales. So he's a working boy. Or lady. Okay. And last bit of news is... Oh, this is kind of boring, but I don't know how this blew up. TTC has an optical encoder now. It's not just the ROM and Razer uses a Kale optical or Kale optical, yeah. So TTC has an optical now. And where's my comment? My comment, because I gotta get my thoughts out there. Damn, 200 plus upvotes on an encoder post. Either y'all hate mechanical encoders going bad, or the mouse scene has little innovation left. Yeah. So, fun fact, I didn't realize the TTC Fire and Ice encoders. Apparently I can't drop this. The Infic IN10 Pro that I have, that I noticed the encoder looked a little funny in. This is apparently an ice encoder, which is supposed to be like quieter. Yeah, it's like a deeper sound. It's a good encoder, but I'm not like blown away by it. It's not a reason to buy the product, I don't think. Okay. That's it for news. Community recap, we'll skip over. We're getting pretty late here. Been live for over 2 hours. No, stop it, Windows. 2 hours, 16 minutes. Okay, let's go to personal ramblings. Unless you had... Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's like,
ramblings.
I'm just here for the
God.
ride. It's been a while since we've done personal ramblings. The one thing I have here is lol, Dazz likes the Redragon M913 Max. Do you have it on your
I'm gonna
desk?
make a video. I'm gonna make a video about this
Really?
MMO Mice because I bought another one from Amazon to mess around with from Solakaka as well.
Oh,
There are certain things about this Razer Razer Naga V2 Hyperspeed that I don't like shape-wise. It still weighs 117 grams, is one of them. The buttons feel nice, but the scroll wheel is abysmal. Like it feels like it's gonna pop out of the mouth in any second. This weighs 132 grams. This thing is massive. I have wasted 9 Westlab blue dots on the bottom of this to make it more usable because the skates were so bad. But it's like a glossy finish, you know, and it's got... I subscribed to World of Warcraft again like a moron, so like I needed a mouse that I wanted to use.
it's high gloss, and
And the second I was doing that, I'm like, this is on Vine. I'll say yes to this. I didn't buy this.
and it's got a good sensor, right? It's $33.95, right?
$33.95 located there.
Tekkusai
Mouse
approved. Dude,
sideways.
G-Wolves approved sensor position.
Yeah, so I'm in a weird place right now.
That's brilliant.
Internals are interesting, that's for sure, as we talked about.
Yeah, you
I
sent
have
me
a
a
little nice.
TM. I'm not gonna bring it up
Yeah.
though. I don't know in chat.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
guys
and
have
I
any?
this Solakaka SM908 Pro to mess around with for $40 too. And
Also Vine?
no, I just bought that for like $35 or something.
No, Daz. I have, brother. Wait a
You have
second.
that mouse?
Can I promote? Yeah, dude. I'm selling all my Solakaka mice. Kaka.
You have the Solakaka MMO mouse?
I'm selling like the whole lot of 4 of them for cheap because here you go. Yeah.
They are easy to take off for use, yes.
Yeah. Well, somebody's gonna go buy this right out from under you, but I'm selling it for $40, and I would definitely take $30 for all
Get it
4.
on, bro. Oh, that's the one.
Yeah. I have it. Yeah. The buttons crazy cheap. Mouse 1 and mouse 2, more side to side play than I've ever experienced in a mouse.
Oh man, the Redragon was actually like really solid, and the clicks feel nice. It was like, what was it, blue shell? Sometimes I showed you. Yeah.
Yeah. Blue shell, blue dots. Their name sounds like it could be a curse word in some language. Yes, Solakaka. Yeah.
I got the Corsair Scimitar, whatever you want to call it. I can't
Scimitar.
remember.
Yeah. Which is a
Scimitar.
sword, right?
Elite wireless. It was like 100. It was like when I was on Vine and silver, but I got an item over $100 randomly. I got like the best version of that, and it stunk. So
Yeah. There's like
That's one of
nothing
the
to
top
grip
options.
onto. Yeah.
there's
They're heavy.
basically what you should go between is this, a Naga, or the Aerox 9, but the Aerox 9 is made for like melon hands. So like I can't use that mouse because it's so freaking big. But it's like sub 90 grams, which is incredible for an MMO mouse. So we're basically in the Pulsar MMO mouse waiting room right now. Is what this boils down to.
Oh, does Keychron have one?
Well, there's like the Spatha, which is a comical looking mouse.
Yeah, from Asus.
Yep.
I guess Keychron
There
does
used to
not
be an
have one.
old Steel Series WoW mouse that was decent. Like you can get like a if you want to do like 6 buttons, you do like an MMO like hex, like you get an old Razor Naga hex kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
G600s are like, I mean, you have like a bunch of those. Those are like OG, but they're wired.
Yeah, if you go wired, there's a lot more options.
Yeah, I'm not doing that, but yes.
Yeah, that's funny that you're enjoying. That's awesome that you're enjoying the
Enjoying is, like, a
Redragon
word,
mouse.
because like the way I'm gripping this is just like actually like a normal grip that like uses all of the support like the MM720, like just like a normal straight grip. But like the way these like moves are, I can fingertip it and maneuver it. This is the stupidest conversation ever.
It's personal ramblings. That's what we're here for.
I just thought that the West Lab dots were a nice touch. They are nice, easy to reuse and replace each 1%, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, I don't know. The side buttons feel cheap on this compared to the Razor Naga, and the Razor Naga costs only like $15 more on Amazon. It's a better product.
Oh wow, this is blowing up. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I copped a whole bunch of stuff this week. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Let me bring up my spreadsheet because I copped so much stuff. If you guys have any questions.
I got that Attack Shark purple mouse in.
Oh, you did? Have you opened it?
I did very briefly. I can bring it back out if you want me to.
Oh, yeah, please do.
The
So
scroll has like 0 defined steps. It's just like a smooth scroll.
that is Attack Sharks MO. They like that.
Yeah. This is a full-size Viper, yes? Yes. It's purple.
How is the zippy coating?
It's closer to like Chi
Oh, no.
R11. You can feel it pretty thoroughly. Yeah. It's not like Ghost. Yeah, it's very defined texture.
Damn.
The Omrons are like mega pingy.
Ooh,
Super
okay.
loud.
I'm
But
down
they feel
with that.
decently nice. Yeah.
Build quality?
Build quality is really good.
Hmm.
Side buttons are a little bit mushy, I guess. Like they're not the best. It's got the nice. I haven't taken the bottom coat thing off, but it's got the nice skates with like the translucent PTFE.
Oh, yeah. Like they're more premium
Bluetooth.
stuff.
Let me grab my phalange scale. I bought your scale on your Amazon referral, so
Oh, really?
I can give you all of your scales back.
don't. I don't want them back. That's why I
Okay,
gave
I'll
them to
throw
you.
them away.
No, don't throw it.
67.5 grams is the weight of this thing now. Yeah.
60.
Holy crap.
Wait. What 60? The Red Dragon?
No. The X11.
67?
67 grams. Yeah.
Is there a dongle stored in it?
No. We've been
is-
lied to.
Really? Did you? It says 59 plus or minus 3.
67 on 2 different surfaces. Let me grab a different scale.
That film 10 grams, says Ronan.
Right though?
No
The Naga X
way.
is actually very good. I'm just weird and like to test all the options. And I couldn't grip it. One day it was slipping out of my hand and I was pissed off about it when I was repositioning it. That's why I picked up this Red Dragon thing, which is admittedly worse. The Red Dragon mouse
Man,
is not measuring correctly. Okay.
67 grams is really disappointing.
That's like one of the worst weight lies we've ever seen, right?
Yeah.
66.8 is like the rough average across these two scales. Yeah.
No,
Fuck me.
dude. Did they do an 800 milliamp? Did they slide an 800 milliamp hour? They said 500. I thought in there. Let's search.
Meh.
500. Meh. I don't
Ben, I'm
know.
not gonna open it. There's no way
CNC
I'm opening this
scroll
thing.
wheel.
What if
Yeah.
yours comes in at like 61? That'd be so fun.
I won the lottery.
Well, this is like This is like the Ueden S9 V2 with side creaking and everything. By the way,
Oh, really?
the
That's
S9 V2
disappointing.
is also 67 grams and has build quality issues.
Really? That's like the one thing that Ueden had right.
That's the one thing they had going for them.
Yeah.
I gotta make a video of that and send it back to him, but I have not had time in my life to do that. So
Yeah. Were you taking a break from YouTube this week? Saw you weren't as active with things.
yeah, I was taking like a mild like mental break, and then I was like, I'll drive to WoW and level to 90. So I haven't touched YouTube in a few days. I did
Nice.
record some shorts on like the V9 Turbo Plus and what the hell? Oh, the S9 V2. Yeah. But I have no videos recorded to even edit, so tomorrow night I'm gonna have to rip off like 3 or 4 videos probably.
Yep. I'll be live probably tomorrow doing a disassembly of that attack shark, and I want to get my review up to Amazon ASAP. Then if they lied on the weight, because I got a Vine unit.
There's a direct correlation where I produce less YouTube content when you stream because I just come and talk. I'm lending my Super Strike to Stubby. That's why I'm not selling it. So.
Oh, are you guys you're shipping or meeting up?
Probably,
Unsure.
Unsure. Yeah. But,
So wait, is Stubby? So if you guys don't know, Stubby is somewhat local to Dazz and I, but Stubby's out of the review scene. He's reviewing more like cameras now.
yeah, and maybe some IEMs coming up, but he's got a
Yeah.
couple mice on deck.
Hmm.
So.
Okay, that'd be really nice of you to connect with him. And I don't know, you think he's gonna actually get back into it?
I don't know. He's very nice production quality.
Yeah, as a camera guy, yeah. Like Aim Adapt is kind of the same way.
Yes. Those close-up shots Aim uses, it gets, and the way he shoots the mouse-shaped silhouettes is very nice.
Yeah, so
2 years ago.
the wildlife photographer thing makes sense now with his picture being a red panda. Well, not that red pandas are native to where we are. Yeah. I did want to.
7 grams is brutal.
Dude, I have bought. Yeah, that's insane. I have bought. Oh my gosh, you want to see just what I've bought in this past month? We're only on March 12th, and this is what I have. Sorry, it's a text list. This is really boring. Dear you, A980. A lot of the. Should I be blurring these out? Tilted weenies? I don't think so. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna. Okay, I will mark with what I'm selling and what I'm keeping. So, blue is. I'm gonna sell this for that Discord user who's buying things. I'll ship you the Susanto so you can borrow it.
There you go.
Oh, okay. OBS. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys, why OBS is freaking out. It's not on my end as far. I don't know. Dare you AE6. I'm not. Okay. Dare you AE6. I'm keeping. WL Mouse Ying Magnesium. I'm keeping. 01. I'm keeping. Attack Shark A9 Air. I'm keeping. M9 Whale Shark. I ordered one. It was like $50 if the racket. $56 if Rakuten tracks. And then Dharma Shark.
0 by Rakuten track, by the way, from that order.
Really?
30%.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Did you
submit a case for everyone?
I always screenshot as I'm in checkout. I screenshot with the thing open showing my tracking
I screenshotted
ID.
the order.
Okay.
Right as I did it with time and order number, so that should be helpful.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Attach it anyway, even if they don't ask for it.
Yeah. Maybe we should just do that.
But Dharma Shark replied to my DM after like 2 weeks. They're gonna be sending me one. I think I gave them address and they haven't
nice.
followed up. I was like, what platforms do you want me to post on? Where should I direct people to buy it? Because I don't know. Like, do I just direct them to some bunk ass AliExpress seller? And they were just like, all platforms, and that was the end of the interaction. Dragonfly, I'm gonna keep the MQ P1. I'm gonna keep the X1. I'm gonna keep Tekk Shark R85 HE. I'm gonna keep Pulsar Crazy Light Size 1 X Light. Oh, this I have. I got this cheap, and I'm gonna sell it. I'm already hating it. G-Wolves HTX I'm gonna resell. Vaxi PA I'm gonna sell. Corsair Saber V2 I'm actually gonna keep. Ponage I'm gonna sell. Lamzoom Imperial Red I'm gonna sell. Oh, because I wanted white. I'm sorry, Daz. I'm weird.
You're keeping the Saber?
Yeah, I like the shape a lot.
Oh man.
I know. It's like marginally better than the Dear You, and I kind of obliterated my Dear You by modding it. So keeping that, my X. I don't know, the real and dude, I got a Vaxi E1 for $55. Can I show
see that? Yep.
Can I show you guys what I did on I don't think I want to show you guys my personal I mean, you can find my eBay, but let me go to my purchase history. Is it bad if people see my like order numbers? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna do it this way then. Oh, I can actually open up the links. That's easier. Here we go. Oh, dude, Discord. Get out of here. Great content, phalanges. Dude, Stubby thought we were the same person.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
How did the realization happen?
I mentioned like your proximity to me, and he was like, "Wait, what?"
He's never seen a Mousecast thumbnail, which definitely shows two
Or
people.
my video, any of my videos, yeah.
Or any of your... Yeah. Well,
Which, to be honest, as I reviewer now, I consume very little mouse content. So
yeah, like, why, you know?
I just have them and I know, or like I can tell, or it's just it doesn't interest me. So
Yeah. I'll use, like, a Melon video to reference disassembly, or I'll, like, tune into a Board Z video because they're really digestible, or, like, Diamond Lobby for the humor. Anyway.
sometimes, because I'm like never first batch on some of these things, I'll like go watch Liam's video to figure out if I want to like review something that he's already reviewed. I'm like, oh, that was good. Okay, I'll review this.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, homie accepted my $45 offer for a Vaxi E1 in blue. I love this shape. He, like, melted the mouse trying to remove the skate. Now, I don't actually know. I didn't even message if it was, like, warped or whatever. I bought this at, like, 2 a.m., I think. But I can always base sand it.
Right. Were you browsing Vine at the peak Vine time?
Maybe. Look at underneath the skate, they say E1. Anyway, I'm really excited about that. I have a new headset inbound. So the mic is supposedly marginally better than what I currently use. I hope the wireless range isn't worse because I like walking downstairs. And then Lamzu My X2, check this out. I got
How did
this.
happen? Who is this person?
Boomin' Bargains. I actually follow them. Yeah,
Who the
15
bargain it
bucks.
was.
But they said no dongle.
But then you got one.
Yeah, so I was like researching where to buy a dongle replacement, and they're like 20-30 bucks from Lamzu's website. But then I was greeted by this. No dongle? Dongle.
Oh yeah, the person that like listed it. That's so funny.
I know. Wait, do I have the... Hang on, I want to show you what's on top of the box. Focus, please. Oh my gosh, my camera. Well, it says $122 retail.
Yep.
No doggle.
No doggle.
No doggle. No doggle.
Not a doggle in sight.
Yeah. And then
There's
I
no
guess
light.
this was the... Yeah, guys, please use bubble wrap when you ship a thing. It was inside of a black box, so it got all scuffed up. I mean, it cleaned up fine with isopropyl alcohol, but like, really, guys, don't throw a mouse in a box. Like how Jim
should be pretty obvious.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been like hitting Twitter hard, dude. It's just so easy to post things, and like I don't really make money from Mousecast, so I try to get some money from affiliate sales. And I do legitimately like posting good deals to our Discord, so I'm like, why not share them with Twitter? Yeah, shout out to, was it Thunderhit? Somebody in our Discord posted this. So, like 85 likes on this. Yeah, dude. Still loving that mouse. I don't know. Sometimes I post stuff like this and it messes up my algorithm.
Right.
This is a great clip, though. This poor player. He own goals. Have you ever played Rocket League?
I played like 400 hours of Rocket League, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You should play with Destroyer. He wants me to play it, and I'm like...
That game has absurd learning curve, like off the charts. You start out horrible.
And it's not transferable.
Good. It doesn't. No, it's not. It's unique to that game. Yeah.
Oh, I guess here's a little bit of news. Thanks. Spear is another good follow, guys, with the Airbender avatar. Any updates regarding a wireless FK1? Remember, they only have the FK2 DW. And as always, reports says, hi, we are working on it and hope to have it confirmed soon and share good news with you in the near future. Oh, he tagged me. Cool. Thank you. Unreleased Vancer mouse. Yeah, this I found on AliExpress. Apparently Incada's the OEM.
Okay.
Didn't know that. Yeah, this is kind of old news. You can get it in red. And then another post that blew up. WL Mouse Strider for only $45. I just need 2,999 more people to pitch in. And like, dude, this got like 27 saves. Are people like, oh, I want to join this group buy? Guys, I'm not doing a group buy. But people were like, count me in. I'm down. I'll buy one. I'm not doing one, guys. Oh, man. Here's the aftermath of base sanding all those mice. It's like a powdery chalk. And then Jim had the best comment. What did Jim say? Oh, no, it was Diamond Lobby said, come on, bro, let's do some sick lines together. Okay. Well, I think I want to wrap up the stream here on that note. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back next week. Different time. This was a little bit early. We're going to be at a different time next week because we may or may not have an international guest.
We may or may not have spoken about on the show.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys for watching.
See you. I wasn't ready.